improvement. Better make my finishing touches before the deadline creeps up. The ability to appreciate beauty is an important virtue. It's good to get out and stretch your legs once in a while.
Hello everyone.
People
कैसे
aren't
हो
made
सब?
to stay cooped up
What's
inside
up,
all
what's
the
up?
time.
Let's see. I hope I'm audible. तो चलो आज का स्ट्रीम चालू करते हैं. तो लास्ट स्ट्रीम में बेसिकली अपन ने वो शिप पे गए थे अपने को इनाजुमा के लिए रास्ता ढूंढ. तो आज वही कंटिन्यू करते हैं. वो भी चेक करते हैं इसके बाद. लेट्स सी. चलो 3 प्रीमोस मिल गए. चलो अगर और 2 के लिए प्रीमो जमा हो गए ना तो 10 फुल कर दे आज. देखते हैं अपना लक कितना ऑन स्ट्रीम. तो चलो तब तक इधर जाना है अपने को. मैंने टीपी अनलॉक नहीं किया है. मे बी अभी इधर से ही टीपी मार के उधर चल के जाना पड़ेगा यार. नो ऑप्शन. ये तो एटलीस्ट मैंने करके रखा था. वैसे मैं ये भी करने नहीं वाला था. पता नहीं क्यों किया मैं. बड़ा कुछ तो काम में आया करना पहले. क्रैब भाई क्या है? ये क्या है? रूइन ट्रेजर. अच्छा. टच द रूइन माउंट. लीव फॉर नाउ. कुछ क्वेस्ट वगैरह होगा तो बाद में देखते हैं. पता चल गया कि इधर है करके. कोई मेन अपन अपना प्रोलॉग देखते हैं. अपन ये कर रहे हैं वैसे अगर पता नहीं हुआ किसी को तो चैप्टर 2 का प्रोलॉग कर रहे हैं. अब पाथ थ्रू अ स्टॉर्म. तो इनाजुमा के लिए ये करना है. तो चलो करते अभी. गो टू टूर्नामेंट अरीना. ओ कॉम्पिटिटर ये बहुना. आई ये हैप्पी न्यू ईयर. हैप्पी न्यू ईयर गाइस. कैसे हो सब लोग? हैप्पी न्यू ईयर भाई. नए साल की नई स्ट्रीम भाई. लेट्स गो.
You bet I am. Have you put your names down yet? Well, I'd have a look at the entrance criteria if I were you. Then allow just anyone to take part. The Clash is a comprehensive test of fighting ability. Anyone who turns up for show over skill is gonna get their butt handed to them.
अरे डरते
Nobody
क्या?
wants to
आने
see
दे.
that, right?
Yeah, we heard a rule about that. So, Paimon's wondering, are you a renowned fighter?
Me? Only a former runner-up in the Tsuhu Rock Freestyle Combat Summit.
Uh-huh. Also, that doesn't sound like the most official tournament out there.
What? You... Nonsense. Have you been living under a rock? It's been going on for years.
Oh.
There were plenty of competitors when I took part. Not to mention, I've helped the Millilith catch treasure hoarders before. There were 2 of them trying to escape. I soon sorted them out.
अच्छा.
They tried to sneak past me under the cover of darkness. They didn't know what hit them. I planted a left hook on the skinnier one's face and sent him flying. Then, the big guy pulled out a knife. I stood my ground, of course. A roundhouse kick sent the blade hurtling into a beam
Sounds
above.
impressive.
I told you. Unarmed, outnumbered 2-1, but I still got the upper hand.
Acha.
I'm not saying I came out completely unscathed, of course. But the fact remains that I did manage to subdue the both of them.
अरे मैं तो
and hand
डेली
them over to the
मारता हूँ
Millionth.
ट्रेचर
I
होल्डर्स
received
को.
quite the commendation.
ये क्या करेगा ये?
But
2
for
मारे
us,
तो उठ रहा है.
Even for our 5 treasure hoard. Alright, we're gonna keep looking around.
I'll see you in the arena, but I don't plan on losing to a pair of children.
देखते अभी कैसे पेयर ऑफ चिल्ड्रन से मरेगा ना. मरेगा तो नहीं, हारेगा. देखते, आने दे.
Hey, youngster. Are you here for the Crux Clash too? If so, seems I found myself another new adversary.
So you're also here for the tournament?
You better believe it. I wouldn't be here if I didn't think I could walk away as a champion. For me, obtaining a vision is the final and most important piece in the puzzle that is my life. No. It's not about what I want to do. This is about who I want to be. I am looking to become a perfect person. I know how that sounds, but let me explain. I've lived a successful life so far, without any setback. I've passed every exam I've ever taken, enjoyed numerous successful business ventures, and seem to get on with just about everyone.
Passed every exam. मैं भी every exam pass किया हूँ भाई.
In most people's eyes, I am already the very embodiment of the perfect person.
Same,
Though,
maybe.
of course, I'd never let the praise get to my head. I know I haven't
अरे us
reached
moment bro, us
perfection yet,
moment.
because there's one thing I'm still missing: a vision.
You have so much self-confidence.
That's not important. I have a contact in the Crux fleet who was happy to vouch for me. So they very kindly made special arrangements on my behalf.
भाई.
I've also brought along a bit of an entourage for moral support. It's such a blessing
Setting लगा के
really,
अंदर
to
आए साला.
have so many good friends in my. Of course, I also put in a few good days practice. You don't mince your words, do you?
The arena will be judged.
The arena will be the. Now then,
आजा
if
भाई,
you don't
मारूंगा.
mind, I need to finish my pre-competition routine.
जा
It's
भाई.
not too long now before you'll get to see me in action.
चल. आया बड़ा. अरे ये लड़की भी फाइट लेने है नहीं, लड़का है. दूर से लड़की ऐसा ही लग रहा था.
Hi there. Are you here for the Crux Clash too?
That's right. Nothing beats real-life combat for honing your skills. That's what our master taught us. But
Who's
this
your
tournament
master?
is more than just a chance to put training into practice. It's also a chance for us to obtain the masterless vision.
Exactly. With a vision, we'd quickly
पाइमन
become
को
our
सब
master's
एक
top
क्रीचर
students.
बोलते हैं, बट कभी एक्सप्लेन किया उसने वो क्या है. फूड भी बोलता है इधर. हाँ मैं तो इमरजेंसी फूड भाई. पता नहीं क्या क्रिएचर है. मे बी वो भी
This
दूसरे वर्ल्ड का
master
है.
of yours must be pretty
क्योंकि इस
incredible,
वर्ल्ड में
huh?
दूसरे कोई
And is
उड़ते हुए
someone
देखा नहीं
famous?
मैंने आज तक किसी को, इसको छोड़ के. ये अकेला ही उड़ता रहता है.
Famous? He's the founder of the Lingshan clan, and his skills are unparalleled. You probably wouldn't have heard of it. It was founded quite recently.
अच्छा,
The clan is nowhere near as famous as the master
इसका लोर अभी
himself
तक पता ही
anyway.
नहीं ना.
He's got
देखते.
to be a grand master or something. He's created many different styles of kung fu, and countless other clans have borrowed extensively from him. To the Lingshan clan, he teaches us.
Force dispersal?
It's a type of breathing exercise where you can train yourself to harness the energy around you and
अरे ये तो
neutralize attacks
उसके
without
जैसा है,
moving
ब्रीदिंग
an inch.
एक्सरसाइज, डीमन स्लेयर जैसा.
For example, our master can use it to alter the path of an attacking fist, or change the direction of an incoming stone, all
That's the Demon
without
Slayer.
breaking a sweat.
One time, he sent a challenger flying into the air without.
It sure is, but it's extremely difficult to cultivate this ability.
तो
We've been training for ages and we're still getting to grips with the very basics.
We're clearly not that naturally gifted, or we would have at least gotten the gist by now. If we don't start making progress soon, we'll probably run out of money to pay the tuition fees and still have nothing to show for all our training.
There's a tuition fee?
Of course! This is a grand master we're talking about here. He doesn't have time to waste. If you want face-to-face training, you've got to show you're sincere about it.
But here we are, having trained under him directly all this time without even a hint of improvement. Master is getting increasingly impatient with us. Recently, though, we heard that a vision bearer joined the Guhua clan and made pretty much instant progress in their training.
अच्छा,
So, if we can get our hands on a vision too, maybe we
Vision
can finally
won't
make our
make you
master
better.
proud.
Well,
Yes.
we have to try something new. Otherwise, we're stuck in the same situation.
अरे चल चल
Exactly. It can't hurt to try. Folks will come from far and wide. Heck, we could.
See you in the arena.
see you in the arena आ जाओ see you in the arena
So, to recap, we're up against an inflated ego, some gullible guys paying way too much for their kung fu classes, and another guy who's just
really average
average.
lol इतना बेइज्जती नहीं करना
Jinx, the
रहता
village arm wrestling champion, huh? All right, you're signed up. Next, please. What's your name? Wait, aren't you?
yes
Did I hear that right?
भाई
Is it really them?
नाम तो सुना है भाई मेरा देखा
Huh? Aren't they a vision bearer, though? Why are they trying to enter the class?
I have to ask. Aren't you the traveler that helped Liyue fight off that ancient god?
यस यस सबको विजन चाहिए हाँ भाई ना मुझे सबको विजन चाहिए मेरे पास तो विजन नहीं
Oh,
है
it's really him!
The one
Famous
that
तो
spoke with
भाई
Lady Kuching at the rite of parting.
Oh, I wonder if I can get his autograph later.
अरे फेमस तो
I
भाई
trust you are aware that only those without visions can enter the
ये
tournament.
कहानी की ओपी भाई ओपी तो हुआ है
Really? But from what I've heard, the things you're capable of in combat are nothing short of extraordinary. You walk into the most dangerous situations imaginable, face off against all sorts of monsters, even the Fatui, and always come out on top.
भाई ओपी नाम ऐसे ही नहीं रखो
He
ना
still
फिर
doesn't have a vision, though. See for yourself.
My apologies. I didn't mean to be rude. I'm sure a great hero like yourself would have no reason to lie. Now, could I ask you to provide a few claims to fame?
यस
It's
यस
just a formality for you, of course, but I have to make a record of competitors' achievements as part of the
भाई
sign-up process.
मॉन्स्टेट
So
का
far,
जॉर्ड
I've got defeated
Defeated
the
the
ancient
ancient
god
god
of
Osai.
Sile, so that's one.
do you
have
have
any others?
I saved well हाँ I defeated Fatui Harbinger nah honorary knight of
Yeah.
revenues
Also,
yes
don't forget to mention that the previous battles include, but are not limited to, Storm Terror, Dvalin, and Fatui
Reverie
Harbinger
Harbinger
Child.
child भाई और क्या चाहिए भाई
Whoa.
और क्या चाहिए इसको
Might as well declare him the champion already.
I wonder if it's too late to withdraw.
अरे भाई खौफ भाई
Okay,
खौफ
that's plenty. Actually, this is the most dazzling track record I've ever seen.
भाई
A long shot.
आ जाओ भाई आ जाओ
Your registration is complete. Now, a brief word about the prize. A great hero such as yourself can surely only be here for one thing. To win the tournament and claim the grand prize, namely,
खौफ तो है
a
भाई
vision.
नहीं चाहिए हमको
We're not
विजन
here for that. We're here because Captain Beto promised to take us to Inazuma if we win the tournament.
There's another prize too? Oh, first I've heard
I've
of
heard
it.
it
Beto must have upped the stakes this time to attract top talent.
yes
But why would
2
anyone want
मिनट
to
में
go
खत्म
somewhere as
टूर्नामेंट अच्छा
dangerous
इतना
as
छोटा है
Inazuma?
I
अरे 2 मिनट
see.
में तो 1 मिनट
So,
भाई अब इतना छोटा
I
रखो
take
मैं
it you discussed your terms with Beto in advance then.
yes mission I'm just not interested in vision
Well,
that's
I'm
all
sure a great hero has an important reason for being here.
क्या
Anyway, the
भाई
qualifying rounds are about to begin. I'll leave you to your preparation.
कुछ प्रिपरेशन नहीं भाई
So,
वैल्यू में आज तक
thinking
कभी
about
प्रिपरेशन
that
नहीं किया
whole
सीधा
no
कॉम्प
vision
स्टार्ट करते
bearers rule in this tournament. Even though you don't have a vision, most people in Teyvat think that you can't manipulate the out, so Paimon thinks you probably shouldn't use your elemental abilities during the tournament. You know,
Eh.
just to avoid any misunderstandings.
ठीक है यार अभी
In
तू
any
बोलता है
case,
तो
looking at the competition, it should
Hand
still
to
be
hand भी
pretty
काफी
easy
है
for you to win, even without using any elements, right? All right, it's showtime.
You seem like you're raring to go. Are you ready to compete?
यस आई एम रेडी
Then
भाई
please follow me in.
आ जाओ सवाल इतना बड़ा ये पता नहीं
Our next competitor is seen by many as the favorite to win this tournament. His first bout begins now.
You? You're the hero they're talking about?
मर जा टाइम पास करने के लिए वक्त
How am
नहीं
I
What a strange guy.
मर भी गया
Why was he so confident to begin with?
बस हो गया खत्म
Now that we've won, let's go and see Beto. She'll probably have something
चालू
to
होते
say to us.
खत्म कर दिया खत्म कर दे बस वही है, चालू
Come
करते ही
on, let's
खत्म
go sign up.
उसको बात करने को टाइम नहीं मिला वो बीच में ही मर गया लॉल
I knew I wouldn't regret introducing you as the favorite. So, what do you think, Kazuha? He totally dominated that guy. and did it
डोमिनेटेड
with
भाई
style,
उसको
too.
पता भी नहीं चला कब आया कब मर गया
but I also observed our favorite exercise some restraint, as if to protect the opponent from serious harm.
Well, I've fought my fair share of battles, both big and small. And I say, after the show he put on just now, he's more than convinced me of his ability. So come on. We all know you've got a wide vocabulary in there. Can't you spare a word or two to congratulate our up-and-coming champion?
All right. Let me think how to aptly phrase these words of praise. You fought well.
वाह
All
इतना ही
right then.
You fought well.
I was thinking your inner poet might want to join in the fun, but I guess I shouldn't put you on the spot like that. You know, a lot of competitors came to me saying how surprised they were that Liua's hero was entering the tournament, and since you signed up, we've had many others do the same, with more than a few top-tier fighters
Oh.
among them. I'm sure lots of them are here to find out how
I
they
don't
stack up
see
against
what
you.
the fuss is all about. Ah,
Well, since everyone sees you as the one to beat, I figure I should start treating you that way too. For one thing, we don't want you wasting all your energy in the early rounds fighting people who are well below your level. Not to mention, you must be itching to fight someone in your league too,
yes,
right?
yes.
So,
आने दो.
I'm putting you straight through to the semifinals.
Oh, भाई, thank you.
But we only just started the qualifiers. Seems like a crazy system if we just skip straight to the semifinals.
This is how Captain Beto works. You won't persuade her otherwise. Besides, at your level, you would have made it to the semifinals anyway.
ए, सीधा finals में ही चला जाना. Semi-finals में क्यों दे रहे पता नहीं.
Paimon was thinking that too.
All right, I'm gonna watch some more of the tournament. If there's any potential contenders for you out there, I want to know who they are and what they're about.
After long, your opponent is finally here. चलो,
We're
semi-final.
finally here, folks. The real show is about to begin.
The captain seems to have high hopes for this tournament. I have not seen her so excited in quite some time. Your opponent has fought many rounds to get to the semifinals. This makes him a seasoned warrior.
आने
You
दे
may
भाई.
well be stronger than him, but this should not give you cause to lower your guard.
I won't.
Very well. Show me that you are ready to push through the storm that lies ahead.
अरे
All
आने
right,
दे
that's
भाई.
enough chit chat for
3
now.
मैच
The audience is
होने चाहिए
waiting.
ना इसलिए.
Go find the crew
Semi.
member that signed you up. She'll take you into the arena.
वही ना इसी तरह. ठीक है यार. अब talented ही हुई इतना हो क्या ही कर सकते. सीधा semis तो semis चलो.
Your opponent in the semifinals is new to the Crux Clash, but he has quickly become the dark horse of the tournament. I do not doubt your abilities, but I would suggest that you make sure you are fully prepared before you begin.
कुछ जरूरत नहीं prepare होने का भाई. आने दे.
Okay, follow.
I'm ready भाई आने दो. भाई मेरा.
At last, the moment we've all been waiting for. The semifinals have begun.
अरे मैं ट्रैवलर को अपग्रेड ही नहीं किया. वो
Who's it gonna be
सामने
this time?
ये
The
90
hero
लेवल का है.
or the dark horse?
I don't care about the prize. You're a strong opponent.
और मैं 20 लेवल का ही हूँ.
That's what I'm here for. It's a fury.
भाई 70 लेवल का गैप है दोनों में.
It's a fury.
चल बे 70 लेवल नीचे.
Pretty good.
3 में कौन से लेवल का ट्रैवलर दिया है देखना सी.
Good feeling.
अरे 20 लेवल का दिया है.
Congratulations. I was beaten by the best. I need to train harder.
Very well. I believe you have potential to be champion. Nah, you fought very
For a
well.
moment there,
Wait,
Paimon
wait.
was a little worried. If you had a vision, you'd definitely be one of the strongest around.
I wanted a vision once when I was a kid.
लगता
People said that
अरे
if
मैं
you're strong,
ट्रैवलर अपग्रेड ही नहीं
you'll
किया.
have
मे
your
भी उसकी
chance
वजह
to
से
get
20 लेवल का ही है.
But mine,
रुक मैं चेक
lost
करता हूँ.
interest
इसके बाद चेक करता हूँ.
you can't depend on a vision like you can your own body. I've fought and
Fight
won
के बीच
against
में नहीं
vision
होता सी.
bearers before.
इसी टैप
The
किया.
power they have was
फाइट
given
अभी खत्म हो गई. अभी कुछ नहीं कर
You
सकते.
didn't sign up to try and get your hands on that masterless vision?
No, I didn't. I only wanted to pit myself against other fighters and see who was the strongest. Only in defeat can you understand your weaknesses and learn from them.
फाइट ही जल्दी खत्म
So
हो
I'm
गया.
pleased with today's
70 लेवल का
outcome.
गैप था फिर भी.
I don't often have the pleasure of
इजी
experiencing
था बे इजी.
defeat.
Wow. Now that's true strength talking.
If you have the chance in the future, please come and spar with me again.
into the finals? Is it gonna be someone even tougher than you?
Whether they'll be as tough as me, I don't know. But what I have heard is that they're extremely quick. So don't get too cocky.
अरे डोंट गेट कॉकी चल वे.
Very.
मैं ट्रैवलर किधर है? हाँ ये देख 20 लेवल का ये मेरा ट्रैवलर. इसलिए वो मैच के बीच में 20 लेवल का ही आया था. लॉल. विंड ग्लाइडर. हमें को ये विंड ग्लाइडर मिला एक. लॉल भाई. असेंड कर दूं क्या इसे? इसको यूज ही नहीं किया था मैं. ट्रैवलर यूज ही नहीं करता इसलिए मैं अपग्रेड ही नहीं किया था कभी इसे. चलो अपग्रेड कर देता हूँ. इतना ही अच्छा है. लगता नहीं 20 का. अरे मेरा ट्रैवलर ही 20 का है तो क्या ही करेंगे. जो डिफॉल्ट रहेगा वही दिया. लेवल्ड अप. बस ये क्या मिला? हाँ वो असेंड किया इसलिए एक फूल मिल गया. चलो वो लोग भी क्या ही करेंगे अगर मैं ही लेवल अपग्रेड नहीं कर रहा तो. 20 का ही दे दिया. कोई बात नहीं.
Maybe we should ask around, see what we can find out about our opponent in the final round. Paimon thinks we might need to up our game a little.
कमीशंस का रिवॉर्ड. वही एक्सपी मिल रहा है भाई. आई लव एक्सपी भाई. पोकट का एक्सपी किसको पसंद नहीं. क्लेम रिवॉर्ड बाद में करूँगा.
My latest design's getting there, but there's still...
Ah, it's you! I myself was eliminated in the third round.
थर्ड राउंड में और स्टार्टिंग में बड़ी बड़ी बातें कर रहा था.
One more round.
Maybe next time, huh? By the way, do you happen to know who else advanced to the final round?
Why, yes. He's the same one who defeated me. He is a formidable opponent. Quick on his feet and swift to take advantage of his opponent's miss. I faltered for but a brief moment. But before I knew it, he had me on the floor. Given my stature, I have no fear of squaring off with physically strong opponents. But faced with a nimble, agile opponent such as him, I found myself completely out of my league. Still, I'm sure he'll be no match for you.
बड़ी बड़ी बातें बस वही ये वैसा. अरे यार नहीं बात करने भाई. क्यों बात कर? हाइप कर रहा है वही ना.
He tried to use force dispersal to deflect a punch, but instead he took it straight to the nose. His opponent was pretty freaked out by it. He kept asking him, "Why didn't you dodge?" But he was pretty much out cold by that point and couldn't reply. "Why don't you dodge?" they ask. Don't even get me started. I spent all my energy helping him get from here to the boat to take him back to the harbor. But by the time I got back, my scheduled match time had already passed and I had to forfeit. I don't dare tell my master about this. Otherwise, I'd never hear the end of it. Sorry, I shouldn't be complaining in front of you like this. I'm afraid I'm still a bit out of sorts at the moment.
दोनों कुछ नहीं कर पाए. ये दोनों को चाहिए था विजन चाहिए था.
Thanks. I'll do my...
लड़ाई नहीं लड़ पा रहे और विजन चाहिए.
We still haven't got any useful information.
You gave an outstanding performance. Truly commendable. I could sense that you're not familiar with bouts of this kind. And it could have cost you the match. But you were quick to adapt and managed to claim victory over your opponent. In fact, I discerned this not from what I saw, but what I heard.
What I heard.
He's right. But in my case, I was purely relying on previous... I guess not using your elemental powers must be quite new for you, huh?
It sure is.
We wanted to ask about who our opponent will be in the final round. Do you think they'll be stronger than the one we faced in the semifinals?
Not exactly. Contenders that reach the finals aren't necessarily stronger. They tend to have something unique about their style. As for the guy you'll be facing, his skill lies in his speed, and he has superior form. It's also obvious that he's seen his fair share of battles. What's the matter? Worried that you've bitten off more than you can chew this time?
It's better to be safe than sorry.
If that is the case, then I have a proposal for you. Let's go. I haven't properly introduced myself yet.
In the land of Inazuma.
In the land of Inazuma, I was a wandering samurai.
Oh, Ronin type.
Yeah, we could tell that from your getup.
ट्रैवलर का एचपी 1400 हो गया था फाइट के टाइम इसलिए बोला मैं चेक करने. अच्छा
It is
notice
true
नहीं
that
किया.
I am versed both in literary and martial traditions. But on the
मे
straggling
भी वो
path of a
HP सबके
wandering
लिए सेम रहेगा, वो
samurai,
लेवल
is
बस
there
दिख रहा
harm in
रहेगा कि मैंने
acquiring
अपग्रेड
a
नहीं किया.
surplus skill?
Who knows?
I do not mean to flaunt my martial prowess, but I myself have witnessed reputable fighters hailing from across the
हाँ भाई
lands.
14 के समझा है मैं.
Given your talents, a few hints from me will
पता
be
नहीं.
all that's
वो
necessary to
maybe
bring your opponent down.
I don't know.
Hang on.
Temporary
Don't
fight
you
के
think
लिए
you're
दिया
bending
होगा.
the rules a bit there?
Gathering intelligence is an essential part of any duel. You must know your enemy. Besides, our favorite here has fought many battles on their journey from Mondstadt. Such impressive feats require more than just bravery alone.
You betcha! Wait a second. We never told you that we've been to Mondstadt.
Does one not leave a trail when traveling through the wild? In return, nature also leaves its traces upon you. However, there is only so much that can be discerned from these traces. Come with me. Some post-match entertainment is in order.
आजा फिर आजा, इसको भी मारूंगा. रुक ना, मारूंगा पता भी नहीं चलेगा.
Maybe we can go talk to Ben?
यार फिर से उधर जाओ इधर आओ, टाइम पास भाई. फायरफ्लाई जोंगलिंग से भी ज्यादा क्रिप्टिक बोला ये तो. हाँ वही ना भाई, समुराइज का क्या है भाई, ये
Now that
करो वो
we're
करो.
alone, let me cut to the heart of the matter. You are skilled in manipulating the elements, and not just a single element, but multiple. Is that correct?
You didn't bring it, so you already know. Yes.
I knew that you were hinting at something from the moment we met. You've known all along.
Yes.
That's right. If the other contenders were to catch wind of your elemental abilities, let's just say it would cause some unwanted misunderstandings.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, you share these considerations, given your reluctance to use elemental skills even in the heat of a match.
Yes, how do you know?
When I talk about that which I see or hear in you, this is not poetic symbolism at play. I mean these things in the truest sense possible. Since a young age, I have been attuned to the tidings of nature. I hear the breath of the wind and the whispers. It is things of this nature that I also hear
कितना
from
बोलता
within
है भाई
you.
ये जोंगली था
Nothing
और
more.
ये भाई.
As crazy as all that sounds, somehow Paimon still believes you.
My humble abilities are negligible compared to your
ये
incredible
कितने
feats.
स्टार का कैरेक्टर है? 4
To
स्टार,
think
5
a
स्टार.
human could wield the elements without a vision. And not to mention your incredibly complex scent, like that of some mysterious being.
इसका तो पता ही नहीं मेरे को.
Us based on our smell. It's weird.
Could you perchance enlighten me as to how you managed to obtain your combined elemental
5
abilities?
स्टार, अच्छा. I'm afraid I don't know either. All I did was touch the 7.
Extraordinary.
Bedo 4 star.
So then,
अच्छा,
might I
Bedo.
be so bold as to inquire how exactly it is that you learned to channel elemental energy and even wield it in combat?
All thanks to Paimon's knowledge.
It's nothing really. Paimon just told him whatever came to mind. It's been a long journey, and many things have
ये
happened along
पाइमोन
the
का
way.
सीक्रेट ही पता नहीं
Somehow
भाई
he
किधर
just
से आई है.
naturally learned to use the elements to it all. Honestly, even Paimon doesn't understand how it all works.
Perhaps such unfathomable things are the essence of the gods and the visions they grant. However, I still wish to have the honor of seeing how you wield the elements. Perhaps it may yet reveal something to me. Of course, I too shall share with you all that I've learned. That will make
Finally
it
a real
nothing.
battle.
Let's test your skills, shall we?
आजा. Real battle दिखाता हूँ इसे. Defeat the monsters to show. यार मैं नहीं हूँ. I hope इससे फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा कि मैं ट्रैवलर में नहीं हूँ.
Nice and spicy.
ओवरलोड से मरते नहीं भाई ये. वेल ज्यादा है इसकी वजह से. यूजुअली तो मार के देखो क्या. वेपराइज, इलेक्ट्रो चार्ज. Vaporize. 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 ये अच्छा है. Pow 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 pow. कोल्ड से बेटर डैमेज पड़ता है. अच्छा, मेरा कोल्ड कैरेक्टर ही नहीं है. ट्राई कर सकते. जो है उसमें का.
You're in for a little shock.
Scanning. Feast your eyes.
Feast your eye.
Shoo! Come at me. Ha. Ta. Ta. Ha.
ये मेरा लैग है. आई डोंट थिंक मेरा तो लैग नहीं हो रहा. आई होप. एक मिनट देखना पड़ेगा मेरे को फिर. मेरा तो लैग नहीं हो रहा. स्ट्रीम लैग मार रही है क्या? लो, अगर कोई आर्कॉन को छोड़ के कोई दूसरा देख रहा है तो बता सकता है कि आर्कॉन का ही लैग है क्या, सबके लिए लैग है? बता देना. आई होप लैग तो नहीं होना चाहिए क्योंकि लाइक मेरा लैग नहीं हो रहा. आई डोंट नो लाइक तुम लोग का क्यों लैग हो रहा है.
Come a little closer.
नेट इशू. आई होप लैग की है. अच्छा, ये होने दो एक मिनट. लेट मी चेक. एक सेकंड चेक कर लेता हूँ मैं. इंटरनेट स्पीड तो बराबर है मेरा. लाइक एफपीएस ड्रॉप है. अच्छा, मेरे लिए नहीं हुआ एफपीएस ड्रॉप. अरे यार.
Why not keep me company for a while? There'll be plenty of time for work later.
Let me check, guys. Let's see. अभी भी लैग हो रहा है तो बताना. I don't know भाई लैग क्यों हो रहा है बीच में.
Your skills in battle are truly beyond. Your opponent is skilled at controlling his breathing and maintaining balance, which enables him to execute moves that many would find impossible. He relies entirely on the element of surprise to defeat his opponents. In other words, as long as you remain mindful of his ability to detect weak points, then his attacks should pose no threat to you. Please, save your thanks. If anything, I should be thanking you for the opportunity to witness your command of the elements that defies all known principles. The world is a truly mysterious place, it seems, and one will always encounter that which is still unknown.
You seem kind of obsessed with visions, but don't you already have your own? Why are you so intent on exploring the connection between visions and the elements?
I desire to know what meaning visions have to the gods, and what influences the gods' decision to grant humans these visions. My apologies. You must be completely in the dark regarding such matters. For allowing me the honor of witnessing your mystical ways, I am willing to answer any questions you may have regarding Inazuma. So that's what you're curious about? Then allow me to tell you more. As you well know, a vision hunt decree is currently underway in Inazuma. Visions are a gift bestowed by the divine. People that have accepted this gift are now having their visions confiscated inexplicably. sometimes in circumstances that leave their original recipients dead. In the outset, supposing each of the 7 Archons had their criteria for granting visions to living beings, then does the current Electro Archon now doubt these criteria, or even the act in and of itself? Not to mention, with no new Electrovisions having been granted for such a long time, it would seem that we can infer something of the Raiden Shogun's feelings on the matter.
She sounds less like an Archon and more like a tyrant.
As far as I know, she is an Archon that pursues eternity. She will relentlessly carry out her will with no regard to what others may think or feel. Liyue's contracts are meant to benefit all who reside within Liyue. But what does Inazuma's pursuit of eternity bring to its people? It goes without saying that the people locked within Inazuma do not fare well these days.
Sounds a lot like something the god you encountered in the beginning would do.
Oh? Have you encountered the Electro Archon before?
Was already. I'm not sure.
With time, we will change. But the Shogun will remain the same. If you wish to find her, she will forever be there. There will come a day when I too shall wish to understand the answers to eternity from her. Ah, the time for your match is approaching.
Oh, right! We got so distracted talking about Inazuma that Paimon forgot all about the tournament!
If you have no other matters to attend to, then we can return together. Very well. Let's go.
I guess अभी lag fix हो गया.
Why isn't he here yet? Never mind. We can start by making your entrance first. Everyone, listen up! Your attention, please! We've reached the climax of the Crux Clash! This is the final match! We've seen many exciting battles today, and now at long last, the 2 finalists have emerged. Now, I'd like to introduce our first combatant. Though few have seen him, his reputation knows no bounds. He strikes fear into the heart of Osile, and the mere mention of his name causes even the Fatui Harbingers to turn pale in the face. Introducing Liyue's traveling hero!
Wow!
I've been waiting for this moment.
I'm sure everyone witnessed his thrilling match in the semifinals. But today's final round will surely take things up a notch. As for our other combatant, he still hasn't arrived. Oh, come on, what could be taking him so long? You can't just forfeit for not showing up like in previous rounds. This is the final. Apologies, everyone just sit tight.
Maybe they got match time mixed up. Maybe they're too intimidated to show up for. Yes.
Got no other choice. If he doesn't show up, we'll just have to postpone the match.
Wait a moment. Something doesn't seem right about this. Captain Beto, perhaps we should check on the prize. Traveler, come with...
भाई वो चुपचाप सोंडी में लेके भाग तो नहीं गया? Don't tell me भाई. चुपचाप भाई लेके भाग लिया. ये गलत सीन हो जाएगा ये तो फिर.
Let me see. It's gone all right.
Huh? Did somebody steal it? Who would dare do such a thing in broad daylight?
We don't know when it was taken exactly.
भाई चुपचाप
I
लेके
never
भाग
thought
लिया
that
भाई
someone
वाह.
here would have the guts to cross Captain Beto.
No need to worry. Even the craftiest sleight of hand does not escape nature's watchful
The culprit only acted
The
recently.
culprit has only acted recently. They will not have gotten far. The vision was the prize that I had offered, and it was my responsibility to look after it. I will be certain to get it back.
आ जाओ, get
Well,
it back
if you
करते.
insist. I'll leave the matter
Big
to you.
fan
then.
भाई, big fan. Thank you
I'll
भाई,
stay
thank
here
you.
and try to offer some explanation to all the spectators that came to see the match.
If you would, please come with me.
Seems there's nothing else to do.
But we're on an island. Where could he have possibly run to?
Bye.
Come with
Thank you
me.
for support
I
भाई.
can sense the winds are coming.
Let's go भाई. Love you, I love you, love you. बहुत सारा प्यार सबको.
Huh? A wind
have come at an opportune moment. Let's seize this chance. Ride the winds upward. From there we can continue our search for clues.
स्ट्रीम कब है? अरे वैलो तो मैं करूँगा ये गेम के बाद। वैलो कंटाल आ गया मेरे को स्ट्रीम करते करते, इसलिए मैं वैलो से ब्रेक ले लिया अभी थोड़ा।
By the way, what made you suddenly think of checking the prize in the first place?
I heard it the moment it was stolen.
Well, then why didn't you stop him?
भाई बहुत मतलब वैलो भी कंटाल आ गया मेरे को। वही वैलो, उठो भाई गेम खेलो, माइनस कराओ, बस इनफ ऑफ दैट गेम।
Come on, we can do it. Let the show. Nice and spicy.
नो एस्केप, तेरे लिए नो एस्केप भाई, मेरे लिए तो नहीं। डाई ब्रदर डाई।
You're in for a little shock. Come a little closer.
अरे क्या आया बड़ा नो एस्केप वाला। चेस्ट मिला। हैप्पी न्यू ईयर भाई, हैप्पी न्यू ईयर सभी को भाई। ये नया साल सबको खुशियाँ दे।
The winds are guiding us forward. The culprit is on the opposite shore now.
चेस्ट लेके जाते
You
ना।
can hear that too? What does it sound like?
Let me just grab this chest.
This way. Follow me. There may be an ambush waiting for us up ahead, but I trust that you are well prepared for such a scenario.
अरे एम्ब्यूश भाई कुछ भी होने दे, आने दे भाई, आने दे। डरते आने दे, थोड़ा नीचे जाने दे, जाने दे। चलो किधर जाना है अपने को? कंटिन्यू टू pursue it.
They're here! Get them!
Treasure hoarders, just as I expected. In which case, please stand back.
Please stand back. मैं ही मार के दे stand back. तू stand back.
Come at me.
Have a little taste.
Have a little taste भाई. Have a little. बोल रहे थे?
The wrong test subject.
मर जा।
The hunter becomes
100। ये उठा लेने दो मेरे को, जो है, बाकी सब आराम से करके। कौन है इधर?
You caught up with me? How is that possible? I had even prepared a boat to ensure a quick getaway, and still you caught up to me.
No boat could ever match the speed of the wind.
The wind? What are you talking about?
Get it, your vision.
If I only had a vision. Or if I could activate this one, then you'd never be able to catch me.
This has nothing to do with visions. You may be skilled at vanishing from a crowd, but it seems you know precious little about how to conceal yourself from nature's gaze. Additionally, your chosen escape route was flawed for reasons that are too numerous to go into. And on top of that, I could hear your boasting and proud laughter in the wind as I was pursuing you. In other words, you failed to meet any of the basic criteria for a grand heist. Namely speed,
New area आएगा क्या bro?
and style.
हाँ, इनाजुमा के लिए अभी आ रहा है मेरे को।
But most disappointing of all,
मैं अभी थर्ड नेशन पे हूँ, तभी इनाजुमा आएगा मेरे लिए।
the vision doesn't respond to human desire indiscriminately.
Fine. I admit it. I've had my eyes on this vision for quite some time now.
मेरे लिए तो नया है, बाकी तुम लोग को पता नहीं तुम लोग कौन से नेशन पे हो अभी।
So you were supposed to be our opponent.
I'd intended to win the contest through skill alone all along, but then you showed up.
अरे
After watching the semifinals, I knew that I didn't stand a chance. But I wasn't about to give up on the vision so easily after coming all this way. Since there was no use in trying to face you in the match, I decided to put my skills to good use.
वाह भाई,
while
डर गया
everyone's
भाई,
attention
खौफ
was
तो
on
था
you
मेरा,
and
कुछ
Beto.
भी बोलो।
I was convinced I prepared thoroughly for my escape, but somehow you still managed to catch up to me.
Hand over the
After
vision.
all I went through to get it? I think not.
There are consequences if you resist.
I know an empty threat when I hear one. Fine. But you'd better mean it. It didn't activate once I took it anyway. It's nothing but a useless shell to me.
अभी
You
हमारे
know,
हाथ में जाते हैं
according to the
activate.
laws of the sea, the penalty for stealing is breaking the culprit's arms.
घंटा होने आया
You're not
टूर्नामेंट
serious, are
में
you?
वही ना.
Not to mention that the item you stole was a prize. You didn't show up for the final match, and you damaged the
भाई
reputation
मेरा
of the
नेशन
captain of
पूरा
the
एक्सप्लोर
Crux
हो गया
fleet.
है
It
एंड
seems
मैं
that it would
वेट
be
कर रहा हूँ
only
न्यू
fair to
एरिया
brand
है.
the word
अच्छा
thief on your forehead with a hot iron.
Whoa, whoa! We don't need to go that far, do we?
भाई ये तो अच्छा है मेरे लिए तो सब
I
एरिया
never
ही
would
न्यू
have
है अभी.
guessed you could be so cruel. If this is where talking
देखते हैं.
gets me, then forget it. I'll risk a fight.
भाई नया कैरेक्टर अरे इसको नहीं दिया भाई.
Nice and spicy.
You're in for a little shock.
भाई पानी में क्यों गया वो. पानी में बहुत गलत जगह थी. पानी में गया 2 मिनट भी नहीं लगा मरने में.
No, no. Do what you want, but please, don't brand my forehead, please!
He has persevered to the bitter end, and now death looms near.
नेशन
Yet
नहीं ब्रो.
still the gods
नेटलैंड.
do not bestow
अच्छा
their
नेटलैंड में
favor
नेशन
upon
पड़ा
him.
लॉल.
Put down the vision and leave.
नेटलैंड पूरा एक्सप्लोर हो गया है.
I've changed my
अरे
mind.
सॉरी माय बैड. मैं वो नेटलैंड
No
पढ़.
further punishment for you.
Huh?
What's wrong? Are you asking for more punishment?
माय
It's
बैड.
up to you.
अरे वो
Such
देखते
willingness
स्टोरी
is
देखते देखते बीच में चैट देखा ना
Fits the
तो
way of the
नेशनल.
samurai.
No, no. No need for that. Thank you for releasing me.
लॉल. माय बैड.
Paimon doesn't get it. Were you just trying to scare him?
I take no pleasure in frightening others. I was just testing all possibilities while the vision remained in his hands. When people are forced into a corner, that is when their greatest strength will appear.
ओह
I thought it may be an opportunity for him to awaken the vision, but unfortunately, nothing
so
happened.
you are planning this all
Yes.
along.
I wanted to know whether it were possible for an extinguished vision to be reawakened.
अभी पता चल रहा है
From
हमारे
the
हाथ में
moment he
जाएगा और
stole
चालू हो
the
जाएगा.
vision, I decided to use him for this experiment. I've tried many other methods in the past, though few tales tell of a masterless vision reawakening. After seeing you command multiple elements, I figured that nothing is impossible. Come, why don't you give it a try?
I'll try.
Let's see if you can give me the answer I'm hoping for.
Let's go. भाई.
The vision didn't seem to respond at all.
I see. So you are also unable to rekindle the vision.
ठीक भाई मेरे को लगा हो
No
जाएगा
matter.
भाई.
This was expected. I suppose
Yeah, what's the story behind this vision anyway?
the story begins with an old friend.
The story time. Let's go.
He was once a good friend of mine. One day he asked me about a sword art of which he had heard, the Musono Hitotachi. I told him it can only be witnessed when divine punishment is administered. It is the pinnacle of the Raiden Shogun's skill, a symbol of ultimate power. But he replied, there must be one who can withstand it. There will always be those who dare to brave the lightning's glow. Then, the Vision Hunt decree arrived. People's aspirations were stripped away as the Raiden Shogun began to construct her ideal of eternity. While I was fleeing from place to place, I heard that my friend had challenged the Vision Hunters to a duel before the throne. A solemn yet brutal challenge. The defeated face divine punishment, while the victors gain a second chance. Perhaps he thought he of all people should make a stand. Coming face to face with the Musono Hitotachi was all that he truly desired, after all. When I arrived at Tenchukaku, the duel was over. I heard his sentence of divine punishment, his severed blade hitting the ground. Perhaps that was the glory he had yearned to witness. In his last moments, what expression was on his face? Before I knew it, I had stepped forward and snatched the dying vision and was running from the scene. All I knew was that I mustn't let his hope, which burned so brightly, become buried among the ice-cold statue of a god.
Oh.
Perhaps one day I may come to find that all I have done is meaningless. But as a wandering samurai, I find meaning in traveling and the sprawling beauty of nature that lies along the way.
Kazuha.
It's just another way of saying I do as I please. All right then. It's time we return.
Let's go.
Allow me to gather the wind for us once.
चलो चलो. अरे विंड बोला टीपी मार दिया इसने तो. ठीक है. I don't mind. TP is better than walking.
Did Beta leave already? Maybe she went back to her ship.
If you're looking for the captain, she was summoned by Lady Ningguang. It seems that the Crux clash got out of hand this time and has attracted her attention. Captain Beto was muttering something about Ningguang being a stick in the mud as she headed off to Liyue Harbor.
It's not unusual for those two to be at odds with one another.
But still, Captain Beto was disappointed she didn't get to witness the crowning of the new champion. She had been looking forward to it for quite some time.
The one who stole the vision was originally to be this hero's opponent in the final round. He knew he stood no chance of winning the match, thus the wicked idea of stealing the prize took hold in his mind. In which case, the Crux clash comes to a clear-cut conclusion.
Yes, buddy.
Huh? So that's what happened? If that's the case, then the rules stipulate that he is disqualified. And our hero here is the champion.
Champion, let's go.
And all, but not like this.
It doesn't matter. As the saying goes, honor given is honor deserved. Now, let me go prepare the champion's medal to award you.
So will we have able to travel to
Yes,
Inazuma?
I believe so. Though Captain Beto is no longer present here, I'll be sure she receives word of it. She is a woman of her word.
Yes,
but
yes.
the voyage to Inazuma is a treacherous one. You will be plagued by a perpetual tempest the entire trip.
अरे आने दे कुछ
The
भी आने दे.
relentless rain and wind are also an embodiment of the Raiden Shogun's will to close the nation.
Hold on a second. You're saying she can change the weather just with the power of her mind?
All
Let
by
us not
crazy
forget
power.
that this is one of the 7 archons. If Liyue's Morax could form Guyun's stone forest by casting down his stone spears, then it should come as no great surprise that the Raiden Shogun is capable of summoning an eternal tempest. Suffice it to say that if you wish to journey to Inazuma, the Alcor will need some time. You will be notified once all the preparations have been made.
Hi,
In the
hi,
meantime,
hi. 53,
I intend to
573
embark
Mir.
on a journey of my own. I will travel all across the vast lands of Liyue
Hello, hello.
in the hope of finding a way to reawaken the vision.
Paimon believes you'll find a way for sure.
Thank you. May both our journeys prove meaningful. One final word of warning. The part of your journey that lies after the storm may well prove to be the most arduous.
कुछ भी होने दो भाई. तो चलो प्रोलॉग खत्म. Let's go. Ask Catherine to information. 800 मीटर. बाप रे. क्वेस्ट कौन सी चालू हुई अभी? ओह चैप्टर 2 का एक्ट 1. अच्छा बाकी कुछ क्वेस्ट तो नहीं है फिलहाल. इंटरलूड चैप्टर एक्ट 2 कंप्लीट द अदर क्वेस्ट. मतलब इसके बाद ये कर सकते हैं अभी. Can't do anything. क्या है? तो मिशन हो गया लगता है. चलो जाने का भाई. जो मिल रहा है कलेक्ट करो भाई. क्लेम रिवॉर्ड ये भी कलेक्ट कर लेते. इधर ही जाना है. फिर कमीशंस भी कलेक्ट करते हैं और वो उससे बात भी करते हैं. कैथरीन के पास ही जाना है वैसे भी. दोनों वही करती है. Yo.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. What can I do for you, traveler?
About traveling to
Yes.
Inazuma.
I've heard that you've already made arrangements with the captain of the Crux fleet regarding your passage to Inazuma. Is that correct? Now that I think about it, it's been quite some time since I last visited those lands. Unfortunately, I don't have any current intel that would be worth sharing with you.
There you are. You're the traveler that Beto will be taking to Inazuma, right? Oh, is that right? Well, it's an honor to meet you. The fleet has nearly completed reprovisioning. Once the crews have taken a head count, we can get underway. Captain Beto sent me to come get you. We'll weigh anchor as soon as you're aboard.
ठीक है. Done.
Is the captain of her word.
Of course! There are many things that the captain insists upon. I'm sure you'll see for yourself once you're on board.
Okay.
So
ठीक
you'll
है.
be heading off then? I suppose congratulations are in order. Whether the journey before you leads to the heights of the heavens or the depths of the abyss, each step you take is another achievement. Until we meet again, Ad Astra Abyssosk.
Ad Astra Abyssal.
It's kind of...
Well, if that's how you feel.
So there's another Catherine in Inazuma?
कितने कैथरीन है भाई?
There's no need to get all sappy now.
17 बहुत सारे twin
Well, I
sisters
guess
बड़े
it's
बड़े.
time for you to bid farewell to Liyue
ये वो
Harbor.
पोकेमोन की
Now that I've delivered my message,
नर्स
I'll
जॉय
be
जैसे
heading back.
हर
The
सिटी
ship
जाओ
is
नर्स
currently
जॉय
anchored off
पड़ेगी.
of Glyonstone.
Okay, thanks for coming all this...
Just following orders. I'll see you two aboard the Alcor.
सब जुड़ा हुआ ही नहीं. नर्स जॉय. Oh, Act 1 started. Let's go. The immobile god and the eternal. पढ़ने भी नहीं दिया.
Ad Astra. Thank you for completing.
पढ़ दो कमीशंस का. Primo Gems 500 XP.
Ad Astra Abyss.
और कुछ है क्लेम एडवेंचर रैंक्स वो सब तो नहीं. Okay. गाइड में क्या है? विश. लेट्स गो. कितने विश हो गए? 9 हो गए और मैं एक बाय कर सकता हूँ. लेट्स गो. मतलब 10 विश तो कर सकते हैं अपन आज ऑन स्ट्रीम. तो 10 विश 10 पुल करेंगे अपन एंड स्ट्रीम में. जब स्ट्रीम एंड करते हैं ना जाते जाते एक 10 पुल करके जाएंगे. और एक ये है तो एक भी खोल ही देते. एक रख के क्या करेंगे? लेट्स गो भाई. हील करके जाते पहले. Let me just heal. इधर शिप पे टीपी. टाइम पास नहीं. ओ भाई यस भाई. हाइप तो है. यस हाइप. लेट्स गो भाई. इसके लिए एंड तक स्ट्रीम पे टिके रहना भाई. पुल करेंगे अपन. इमेजिन भाई पहले पुल में निकल रही है. ओ हाइप तो तब होगी.
You finally made it. All these years, come rain or storm, the Crux fleet has never suffered a delay. If it were anyone else, I might have... Don't look too serious, I'm only joking. You're just on time. The crew have just finished making final preparations. Well, now that everyone's here, we set sail for the land engulfed by storm and tempest. The nation of eternity.
Let's go! Oh ho ho! Yep. Hello. बैठो भाई बैठो. Let's go. Inazuma. After braving the rain and the storm, the Alcar finally comes to port. Let's go. जापान में आ गए हम लोग. ओहो हो ब्यूटी. थोड़ा थोड़ा चाइल्ड जैसा लग रहा है ना.
Oh, hi there.
It's nearly...
So, you finally made it. You sure kept me waiting, Captain. And it appears we have a couple of stowaways. Or perhaps I should say, honored guests.
भाई इज्जत से बात करने का ठीक है.
You can blame your almighty shogun. The tempests around Inazuma have been growing all the more fierce lately. Though the fleet was fully up to the challenge, the inclement weather still caused some delay. Now then, let me introduce everyone. This is Toma, a trade partner that I've gotten to know recently.
You don't know how long I've been waiting to see you.
Toma, these two are...
Oh, no need for introductions. Their reputation precedes them. Seems even the stormy seas can't keep rumors of these outlanders' sterling deeds at bay.
भाई क्या भाई फेमस भाई जिस नेशन में आए ना उधर भी फेमस है भाई.
With any luck, it'll give you a head start. Toma's resided on Rito for quite some time now. It wouldn't be going too far to say he's the fixer around these parts. If you run into any problems here, just talk to Toma.
Done.
But if he tries to pull any moves on you, I'll be sure to deal with him personally the next time I'm around.
भाई खौफ तो है भाई बेडो का
No
किस भी
need to
नेशन में
worry.
जाओ.
I'm sure we'll get along just fine.
Good. Then if it's all settled, I'll be going. I wouldn't want to be caught with my sails down here. I do have a wanted fugitive on board after all.
Oh, right.
Kazuha.
Until next time, traveler. Remember to give it your all, no matter what perilous storms you may encounter.
We got this भाई.
Captain Beto.
आने दो भाई कुछ भी आने दो मारेंगे. वार कौन
Now
को भी
then,
आने दो.
first things first. We need to go get you registered at the border checkpoint.
Paimon thought we were supposed to be keeping things on the down low. Are we just gonna walk into the government's hand?
Don't underestimate the reaches of the Sakoku decree. You wouldn't be able to avoid inspection even if you tried. So we have to play by the rules.
Okay, ठीक
even
है.
if we're kind of bending them.
Okay then भाई अभी क्या ही कर सकते. चलो. ऑलमोस्ट 32 होने आया मेरा एक्सपी AR लेवल तो अच्छा है. आ गया माँ.
Hello, please state your name, identity, and the purpose of your visit.
कहाँ गया हुआ ये नाम किधर से
except you,
सुना है
Toma.
मैंने भाई.
You must be new here. Excuse me? Please provide the information requested and also declare any goods you are carrying with you.
We were here to trade wine or ore. We are here to find my sister. We are here to find my sister.
Well, I'm sorry. We cannot approve entry for purely personal
गया
reasons.
अरे
you must have a
हाँ
valid reason for
लॉल भी
visiting
वही
in
सोचो.
accordance with the rules.
हाईक्यू में भाई ये कागेयामा किधर से सुना नाम है भाई. याद नहीं आ रहा मेरे को.
Apologies, but I'll have to ask you to...
Here are the entry papers for your kind perusal.
What? Ugh, take your time. No rush or anything.
कोई सोचो एक नाम
I
सुना
just
सुना
wanted to
लग
see
रहा है.
what you'd say. Sorry.
I see. Okay. Your papers are all in order. Welcome to Rito.
So, where do we go next?
The Outlander Affairs Agency. They only check entry permits here. If you want to remain on Rito, there's a process you have to go through with them.
कितने भाई पेपर वर्क शी भाई.
Well, let's not forget that to everyday folk in Inazuma, people from everywhere else are referred to as outsiders. As the word suggests, Outlanders aren't very welcome in Inazuma with the Sakoku decree in force. Not even on Rito, where they've established an outsider settlement.
Welcome or not welcome, we don't have a choice.
I like how you think. I've got a feeling we're going to get along very well. Now, let's head over to the Outlander Affairs Agency.
Let's go.
Most of the current rules were put in place by the administration of Rito, the Kanjo Commission.
ओ इधर आ गया हूँ मैं. इधर पड़ता है ये नेशन. हाँ इधर से इधर. ये इलेक्ट्रिक वॉल है ना इसको अपन पार नहीं कर सकते. पहले मैं ये स्टैचू चालू करके आता हूँ. मैं तो बोलता हूँ मेरे को मैप दिखने रहा है ना मेरे को अच्छा नहीं
Yes,
दिख.
one branch of the Tri-Commission of Inazuma, responsible for growing and managing the nation's wealth. You really haven't heard of it before?
हाँ नहीं सुना. तो काला मैप देखने मेरे को पसंद नहीं है. ज़्यादा दूर नहीं है ना ये. हाँ पास ही है तो चालू करके जाते हैं. पहले स्टैचू चालू कर. हाँ नीचे उतर. इसको कुछ भी दिखता है भाई चढ़ना चालू कर देता है ये बंदा. देखो ऊपर है. हाँ ऊपर स्टैचू है. इधर का गॉड कैसे दिखता है देखे तो सही. ये दिखती है व्हाटएवर. ओ वो नीचे वो जापानीज थंडर गॉड के जैसे ड्रम्स रहते वैसे ड्रम्स है उसके पास। ओह नाइस। हाँ एरिया अनलॉक्ड। का बाद में कर लेंगे, अभी आइलैंड ठीक है उतना काफी है। अच्छा इधर टीपी अनलॉक किया था। हाँ टीपी पे टेलीपोर्ट मारते हैं जल्दी जल्दी, हाल तो चलने का नहीं। अब चालू हार्ड मोड। अच्छा देखते भाई कितना हार्ड मोड करते, आने दो भाई।
You've completed the entry procedures, yes? And now you want to apply for residency, both of you?
Yes, please.
Okay, the processing fee will be 2 million mora.
Huh?
2 million? For a processing fee? Are you—
That's right. 1 million per applicant, which makes 2 million total. Don't worry, you can trust my math.
2 million?
Questioning your math.
Ma'am, these two here are good friends of mine. I think you'll find I'm one face you recognize.
Ah, Mr. Toma, it's you. By way of courtesy, allow me to reduce it to 400,000 mora total.
But फिर भी it's still quite expensive. It's a major discount.
Thank you ever so much, Miss. But as this is just a processing fee, I think 600 mora should cover it if I'm paying on their behalf. I'll treat you to dinner too.
Oh
How
भाई
does that sound?
smooth talk भाई, smooth talk.
How you haggle? By all means, bargain the price down.
All right then, as you wish, Mr. Toma. I will.
Much obliged.
1 million by 1 million कितना है? कुछ भी मांगने का। Application process smoothly at the outlet. Blah blah blah.
What? She went from 2 million down to 600?
भाई इतना डिस्काउंट भाई।
Seriously wrong with people's sense of finance around here.
Literally 2 million से 600 पे। ये क्या डिस्काउंट तो दिया है।
It's not as mind-boggling as you think.
1 million में 2
Processing
million
fee is just a figure of speech. The way some here at the agency see it, the fees are easy money, so it becomes a question of how much they can make. So when the day comes that some poor merchant from overseas with more money than sense gets stuck here and needs to apply for residency,
Then they'll milk them for all they're worth.
ये भाई मिल्क करते हैं।
exactly. It's at times like this that having a local friend really comes in handy. Yes, but when you're an outlander in Inazuma, far from home in this
यूएस से कुछ
close-nation
सीखना
era,
चाहिए हाँ ना भाई।
there's very little that can be done about it.
साले
The most that overseas
पैसा
merchants
खा
can
रहे
do to
भाई।
look after themselves, that's how the International Trade Association came about.
So it's a trade association built by and for Outlanders?
Yep.
हाँ
And as well as advancing commercial interests, the association provides help,
बस
support,
लूटने
and
का
structure
काम
for
भाई। 2
Outlanders
मिलियन
trying to
किधर से
survive in
लाता है
retail.
गरीब बंदा भाई।
Essentially, it's an association devoted to both commercial excellence and survival skills.
Sounds like just staying alive is an achievement when you're an Outlander in Inazuma.
I see. So this is the real purpose of your trip. Yes, given that you are Outlanders, it's certainly a lofty aspiration.
बहुत।
After all, the Raiden Shogun is the most exalted and revered one in all of Inazuma. Huh. I was going to say nothing is set in stone when it comes to who you will encounter in this world. Who's to say you won't happen to run into the Raiden Shogun one day after lunch?
मेरे को नहीं भेजना उसको भाई।
Okay, I'll give it to you straight. I know of a way to introduce you to the Raiden Shogun.
ओह इनकी आर्कोन ऐसे बैठी रहती है। आओ मिलो मेरे से कभी भी।
I mean, it will take all the resources I have at my disposal, but it can be done. However, before we get there, connections come at a high price. You understand?
क्या चाहिए इसको? पैसा चाहिए इसको भी।
No. In this instance, when I say price, I'm not talking about Mora. In fact, there's no real cost as such. It's just that if this is something you really want, you'll have to agree to help other people solve some of their problems first. I like to do things in a way that keeps everybody happy. It's my own personal rule for dealing with situations like this.
Sounds very reasonable to Paimon. You're the man in the middle, so you have to trade
The
favors
fixer
to
works
keep
in
everyone
mysterious way.
indebted to you.
क्या
Why
दलाल
do I get the feeling you're making me out to be some sort of crook?
मिक्सर से
Never
दलाल लग
mind.
रहा है मेरे को.
Here's the situation. As I touched upon earlier, the members of the International Trade Association are constantly struggling to survive. Recently, things seem to have gotten more difficult than ever for them, so just go and check things out. See if there's any way you can help. The head of the association is called Caricio, and he's a good friend of mine. Go talk to him. I'll wait for you here.
इससे बात करो. Look for objective. ये कुरिसु यही है ना कुरिसु.
Huh? Hello there. You must be seeking refuge with the International Trade Association. The Outlander Affairs Agency took you for all you're worth, I suppose.
Very nearly. Lucky we had friend with us.
Good. That's a relief. You need to be careful, or you'll find yourself losing your savings all at once.
We heard the association has been having some difficulties lately. Is that true?
Yes. Left, right, and center. Obstacles at every turn. But that's nothing new for us.
The Sakoku decree certainly makes things difficult for anyone who wants to come here from
But it's not the root cause of our woes. The Sakoku decree might restrict our scope of activity, but in and of itself, it doesn't stop us from being able to enjoy a comfortable existence. No. What's really squeezing us Outlander merchants dry are those Mora grubbers from the Kanjo Commission.
क्या भाई?
Oh, of the three
Corruption
commissions,
सब में है
that's
भाई.
the one that oversees everything on retail, isn't
Corruption हर जगह game में
That's
भी
right.
real world में
They
भी
impose
भाई.
astronomical tax rate, unbelievable
But tax rates तो
regulations,
हमारे बढ़
and
रहे
that's
हैं
not the
भाई.
worst
Shit.
of it.
भाई game ज़्यादा relatable हो रहा है दिन ब दिन.
They just issued a new tax decree recently that, for some reason, completely changes the way we pay our taxes. It used to be Mora, but now it's something called Crystal Marrow.
Marrow?
Crystal Marrow?
नई currency डाल दी इन लोगों ने.
Something that most of us in the association had never heard of before either, until the new decree came along. Eventually, one of the older Liyue merchants recalled that he once shipped a batch of it to Snezhnaya in his youth. So, in order to pay our taxes, we began an arduous search for this crystal marrow, but then we found we'd only managed to create a bigger problem for ourselves. The rising demand for crystal marrow drove the price higher and higher. Now there's only one vendor who even has it in stock. We can't get a hold of it anywhere else.
Isn't that what they call
Monopoly. Yes.
Exactly. So this vendor keeps pushing the price up, and we have no choice but to buy from them because the tax decree forces us to. It's a vicious cycle. The consequence of which is that our taxes will soon exceed our profits.
वही ना भाई क्या करें?
We've tried communicating with the commission directly, but this is a nation where the cries of a few
Cryptocurrency.
struggling merchants will never be
घंटा
heard over the
cryptocurrency भाई.
ever-present roar of thunder.
कुछ भी कर रहे हैं भाई.
My dear homeland.
बेचारे लोग कैसे जी रहे पता नहीं.
bleeding them dry? What do you think we should do?
Fight भाई fight. The vendor does sound like a fishy character.
But Carisu's the head of the association, and even he hasn't had any luck. Not to mention, we're Outlanders too.
Right. And besides, I think this may well be the fate they've ordained for us.
Okay. Well, we could try tackling the problem by going to the other party involved.
That vendor. I've actually done business with him in the past, but after a
It definitely sounds
Like
big.
he's being unfair.
Hey, that's a pretty
Yeah,
good
good
idea.
idea.
Since you're not affiliated with the association
Yes.
and you're new to Rito, he may just let his guard down.
Yes, yes.
If I remember correctly, our usual meeting point with him is under a tree by the coast in the residential district. See if you can find him there.
झाड़ के नीचे बैठा पड़ा है भाई बंदा. चलो भाई तो झाड़ के नीचे जाते हैं. आ जाओ. पर ये विजन हंट डिक्री क्या है भूल गए. अरे विजन हंट डिक्री में वो सब जितने भी लोग विजन है ना इस स्टेट में इनाजुमा में वो सबको हंट कर रहे हो जमा कर रहे हैं. तो लाइक विजन्स पे भी मोनोपोली कर रहे हो लोग क्योंकि विजन्स लोग खतरनाक है ना स्पेशल पावर इसलिए उनको ढूंढ रहे. तो मे बी उसकी गॉड चाहती है मोनोपोली रखे उस पे
I don't
भी,
think I recognize you.
कोई
You
रेबेल ना
new
हो
arrivals?
आ जाए इसलिए वो काजुहारा भाग गया ना, उसके पास भी विजन था तो।
So, what do you need with me? The sheer nerve. You don't go around asking questions like that. If I gave you my sources, I might as well hand you the whole darn business. Trade secret. Got it? You know what trade and secret mean, right?
This guy's got a bad attitude.
Ha! Are you even buying? Oh, I see what's going on here. Karisu and his associates sent you here to try and plead their case, didn't they? They're wasting their time. The price is non-negotiable, not by a single Mora.
इसको मारना पड़ेगा लगता है।
Get out of here, go on. Tell them they're lucky to be buying from me in the first place, and they ought to be more grateful. If it weren't for me, they'd be in seriously hot water.
What are we gonna do? There's no talking to this guy.
Time to get the real fixer on the case.
Good idea. Let's check back in.
चलो भाई, टोमा क्या कर रहा है भाई? तो वो डिक्री हंट में वही कर रहे थे कि लाइक जो है उसको अपनी टीम में ले आओ और जो नहीं उसे मार दो, अपोज कर रहा था, इसलिए तो वो काजुहारा का फ्रेंड मारा गया।
That was quick. You resolved it already?
Actually, we're having a little trouble.
No? Well, by all means, tell me what you need. I'll help as much as I can. Getting you to go fixing things when you've only just arrived is quite a demand. Oh, that guy? He used to be a bit of a sorry sight, selling shells that he collect on the beach just to get by. But he seems to have suddenly shot up in the world recently. I can only assume he must have found himself a patron after leaving the International Trade Associate.
Huh. You're saying he used to be a member of the International Trade Association? So he's an Outlander too?
Yes. Couldn't you tell when you spoke to him? That's right.
Seemed
Werner
like
was born in
Mondstadt.
Mondstadt, then went into the shipping business, trading between Leah and Inazuma.
अच्छा,
When
मॉन्स्टैट से
Inazuma
जन्म
closed
के
the
इधर
outside
नाटक कर
world,
रहा है।
he was one of a group of Outlanders that ended up stranded on Rito.
What a bummer.
The International Trade Association was initially very generous to him, but over time, with decree after decree, the association members found it increasingly difficult to make ends meet.
So he left the association and turned his back on them.
I'm sure it's more nuanced than that.
Really? Is that all you need to know?
Well then, it sounds like you may have found a way in with him.
क्या किया, क्या वे फाउंड किया भाई, हमको तो बताता ही नहीं खुद अपने आप में। ए रुको, मेरे को नए पंख मिले थे, वो यूज करके इधर था प्रोफाइल में, आई थिंक इधर से चेंज कर, इधर से तो चेंज करते हैं ना, भूल गया किधर से चेंज करते। हाँ इधर नहीं, ये उसके बाजू का बटन था, विंड ग्लाइडर। हाँ ये वाला मिला था, नया वाला लगा के देखते हैं ना कितना। नहीं ये मिला था, हाँ ये हरा वाला, इस पे सूट भी करता है। ये डेंड्रो कैरेक्टर है, ऊपर से हरा भी है। हाँ ये अच्छा लग रहा है, नाइस नाइस।
What are you doing back here? Just because I got plenty of time on my hands doesn't mean I want to waste any of it talking to
Time on
you.
your hands, some will call that form of freedom.
Huh? Where's this coming from?
A dandelion wild will sure be nice on the day like this.
Mondstadt? You were talking about...
Dandelion wine मेरे पास नहीं है भाई, क्या चाहिए इसको? ये नहीं है मेरे पास, ये है। क्या है ये, उसका निशान भी नहीं दिख रहा। नहीं है शायद ये, जिसको ये चाहिए वो मेरे पास नहीं है। सबमिट।
Goodness, I can sense it now. So familiar, but I can't remember the last time I was there.
मिल गया, मेरे को लगा दूसरा कुछ, वो इमेज ठीक से दिख नहीं रहा था।
Oh, how it takes me back. Oh, my hometown.
The home of
freedom.
How I long to go back
क्या
and
पता वो
visit.
निशानी ठीक से मेरे को दिख नहीं रहा था वो दे दिया कुछ तो ऊपर था वो दे दिया
Huh? What is this? What?
Just close your eyes already.
listen
You
doesn't
mean
listen
the sound of the ocean?
cheap and tasty
Leah Harbor. I can see it so clearly.
अच्छा
Oh,
मॉन्स्टर
the
वाला
sound of the
मटेरियल हाँ
waves.
वही दे
The
दिया फिर
calls of the merchants. Xiao lanterns. I'm right there at the lantern right.
और इसको अलग नॉस्टैल्जिया फील कर रहा है वही ना सीधा नॉस्टैल्जिया में चला गया ओ भाई
Leah.
लियोए का मटेरियल दो क्या इसे ये ले चल ले लियोए का
Wait. Stop. That's enough. Don't make me relive it anymore. You mean the folks from the International Trade Association? Often, I'll sneak down to the shore at night and listen to the sound of the waves. I like to imagine it's the voice of my hometown, carried across the ocean. I've run into folks from the association more than a few times doing just that, but I always hide my face and slip away. Don't you think I've wanted to talk things through with them and free myself from this anguish?
Well, no one's stopping you.
They're so resilient. None of them had anyone else to rely on, so I caved. Those people, they'd make the smallest of promises, offer the most measly benefits, and I'd do whatever they asked of me. All right, I'll tell you the whole story. It's eating me up inside, and I can't take it anymore.
You ready to talk now?
But I betrayed them. I can't show my face there.
Come on, you scaredy cat. Look, you messed up, but now it's time to make things right. So come on, get it off your chest.
It's a scheme by the tax collection Ashigaru. Keijiro and his companion. They start by overtaxing the merchants, then take the extra crystal marrow they receive and stockpile it. Once the merchants run out of places to buy crystal marrow, they get me to sell that extra stock back to the merchants at an extortionate price, with the proceeds going to the tax collection Ashigaru.
It's plain.
I'm their puppet, yes. But my cut is a tiny fraction of what we take in total. It's barely enough for me to live on. Evidence? You're right. Without conclusive evidence, he will never admit it. Now that I think about it, whenever I report back to him after a sale, he always heads to the same place. It's always made me suspicious. As it happens, I handed some Mora over to him not long ago. I can show you where he went if you...
Really? Well, then there's no time to lose.
let's go भाई एनवायरनमेंट तो मस्त है भाई कुछ भी बोलो पत्ते बित्ते घूम रहे आहा डिटेलिंग तो है
Keijiro, it's
after him sneaky
Too close. That's too close.
Come out, I can see you. Who are you? Why are you following me?
Seems like he's noticed us.
क्या पास नहीं जाना था मेरे को उसके सर दिख गया तो मेरे को लगा पास जाना है स्नीकी खेलना है क्या तो जाके बात कर रहे ठीक है चल आफ्टर ही तुम आराम से अभी देखो चल से देखो मेरा बस काइडे टेंस की भाई को हेलो काइडे
Ryoko, how's business?
अरे मस्त बिजनेस एकदम
All the better thanks to your generous patronage.
Good. Thankfully, I earn plenty these days.
हाँ सब टैक्स हराम का पैसा खा रहा है और सब आया नेवरी साला
Now, who else is behind on payments?
अच्छा दीदी जरा एक मोमोस लगाना
Yes, the trade association clique still needs to be brought into line.
ये रामेन दिख रहा है ऊपर रामेन भी देना थोड़ा नहीं खा अरे नहीं खाना चलो.
What was that sound?
Quiet! Don't let him find us!
Must be hearing things. Drat, I'm behind schedule. I need to hurry.
He's getting further and further away! Let's catch up a little. He's getting further and further away! Let's catch up a little.
अरे शांत बैठना है. इतना बड़बड़ करता है ये. वो पैसे दफना के रखे. क्या किया उसने मेरे कोपचे में?
What could he be doing at a place like this?
It looked like he buried something over there, didn't it? Why don't we take a look?
एक क्या ही ट्रेजर छुपा है. लेट्स गो. क्या है इधर? डिग डिग डिग.
Whoa, it's boring. Paimon thought he'd hidden a big pile of Mora here.
वही ना भाई. शी.
Let me take a look here. Aha, yes! This is what we're looking for. A clear and complete record of every single transaction, each one proof of his guilt.
Great! Well, now we have our hard evidence. Let's go tell Karisu the good news, shall we?
I'll say goodbye to you here then.
Huh?
हाँ भाई डर रहा है भाई.
I need a little more time before I'm ready to face the head of the association. I'm sorry.
Huh. Poor Werner's a pretty awkward guy.
एसोसिएशन के पास. Tell the association trade about what really happened. चलो. बंदर भाई. बंदर.
But we really don't have anything left. If this keeps up, our sales will come in at a loss. There'll be nothing left for us to do but starve.
You know the decree. The rules are the rules. No discounts, no exceptions, and no excuses.
You are the one making the mockery of the rules here, Keijiro.
And who are you? Another new member of the association?
It just so happens that we found your little ledger, so now we're here to tell everyone all about how you embezzled crystal marrow to sell it right back to the taxpayers.
Huh? Is this true?
Yes.
You've been swindling us.
Well, you see,
The tax. अभी क्या
taxes,
हुआ? अभी क्या
Let me
हुआ?
take a look at the ledger.
Read through each and every item in the ledger. Ha.
Well, would you look at that? Every payment the association has made is right here in your personal ledger. So, Mr. Keijiro, it seems you have some explaining to do.
How shall we settle this? Yes. अभी बोल.
So you think you can use this against me, do you? It's quite obvious that I'm merely trying to earn a modest living for myself,
A
like
modest
anyone
living?
else.
Low? You modest
Word
living?
has it that Samurai and the Commission place great importance on reputation and prestige. Though I'm sure Commission members won't blame you once word gets out.
Huh? Is that a threat? Are you threatening me?
Yes.
No, not at all. I'm simply stating that it would be quite a pity if an illustrious gentleman such as yourself were to have their reputation tarnished.
Well, even if what you say is true, what do you suggest we do about it?
I believe you still have a quantity of crystal marrow in your possession, correct? Perhaps that crystal marrow could be used as compensation for the recent tax hike, and us merchants could finally have some more breathing room.
Is that it?
Do you have any idea the hoops I had to jump through to get the crystal marrow and keep it hidden? Fine. In that case, I'll send it over to you today.
And not even an ounce of shame for his action.
So that's it? My shop's been closed for weeks now. I've even had to ask my friends to help bail me out. What about my losses?
Come on, Harrison. We've already struck a good deal here.
I'm sick of being pushed around like this. I won't let him off so easily.
Harrison!
Hey, what's all this racket? Does someone dare question the decree? Chief, you've arrived.
दो chief को दे
What's all
दो
the
ये.
commotion I heard just now? Oh,
अभी
we were
इसकी
just
मरेगा ना
discussing a minor tax issue. I do my utmost to lend them a helping hand, but they're never grateful.
A helping hand? The only thing you're doing is stuffing your greedy pockets with our hard-earned wealth. I assure you that Hirage Shinsuke will hear of this.
Oh, and you dare to utter the Commissioner's name. You Outlanders have no respect for the rules. Seize the merchants. We will resolve this dispute back at headquarters.
आ जाओ
This is going in a bad direction.
भाई हमको क्यों हम
Gentlemen,
नहीं
gentlemen, come now. Is there any need for this? If there's a dispute to resolve, let's get a drink and talk it over.
Who are you supposed to be? And why in my right mind would I join you for a drink?
You never heard of the Fixer?
context Paimon context
Here's my card.
Huh. You're from the Yashiro Commission.
Shh.
Huh. Well, this is Kanjo Commission territory. However powerful the Yashiro Commission may be, you have no business meddling in Rito's affairs.
अरे जा जा
Of course not, of course not. Still, perhaps you could show the
young lady your some courtesy ये क्या दिखा रहा है बीच में
lady of our clan some courtesy. You wouldn't want your name showing up in a petition to the Shogun, would you?
That fan, the Shirasagi Himegimi. I don't need any trouble with her. Okay, let's forget all this. It'll give us one less thing to worry about.
Yes.
But, Chief!
Enough! We're leaving.
Let's get dinner one day soon, gentlemen. My treat, I insist. No response, huh? I suppose that bridge is well and truly burned then.
Thank you so much, Toma. But I'm sorry your relationship with the Kanjo Commission had to suffer for our sake.
Hey, I was joking. It's a small price to pay, and you're more than welcome. If there's anyone you should be thanking, it's the Traveler. He's the one who found a way to turn things around. If nothing else, I'm sure the tax collection Ashigaru will tread a little more carefully in the future. Shh, not here. Too many people listening.
Let's move somewhere else. Let's go. कोपचे में भाई उधर सुन रहे थे इधर कोपचे में नहीं
Corruption seems rife in the Kanjo Commission. They truly are rotten to the core. All right, time for me to answer your questions. What would you like to know?
Tell me about Hirasagi.
Straight to the point. Let me reintroduce myself. I belong to the Kamisato clan of the Yashiro Commission on Narukami Island. I'm an attendant of the Shirasagi Himegimi.
You've been keeping your true identity a secret from us this whole time? So, the Yashiro Commission. Guessing that's another branch of the Tri-Commission?
Correct. The Kamisato clan is the head of the Yashiro Commission, who manage ceremonial and cultural affairs. I'd go into more
too
detail
much
on what
information
exactly
to process,
that covers,
bhai.
but I'm not even sure myself. I'm
Kamisato.
just someone who was fortunate enough to be taken in by the Kamisato clan.
अच्छा
My role
Kamisato
is to take care of the
कुछ है
daughter of the
important
clan,
Kamisato के बारे में
Kamisato Ayaka, also known as the Shirasagi Himegimi.
Seems like she must be super famous in Inazuma, given the reaction of those guys just now.
Oh, most definitely. She's graceful, dignified, and kind-hearted too. The people of Inazuma quite adore Miss Kamisato.
अच्छा
Her
क्या
fame even somewhat
Kimisato
eclipses that of her older brother, Kamisato Ayato, despite the fact that he's the current head of the clan. I suppose those who treat others with compassion earn themselves the same treatment in return. Miss Kamisato's situation certainly seems to attest to that. Take me, for example. I'm just an attendant, and yet she treats me as an
दोनों
equal.
Kamisato playable 5 star है ओह मतलब भाई बहन दोनों वाह
You're asking the right questions. And to be honest, I don't want to keep you in the dark any more than is necessary. Firstly, you should know that being a fixer is not something you can fake. I spent the better part of a month tirelessly building up a network of relationships on the island. And I got to know Captain Beto during that time too.
Still pretty good going for just a month's work.
Well, maybe I have a slight knack for schmoozery. But the main thing was, I had to make sure I'd be in time to receive you when you arrived. Inazuma may have closed off to the outside world, but that hasn't stopped a lot of people from hearing about your feats in Mondstadt and Liyue. So, when Miss Kamisato heard of your intention to come to Inazuma, she began looking forward to your arrival with great anticipation. She's excited to find out whether the rumors are true.
आजा फिर उसके साथ लड़के दिखाओ क्या
That you have what it takes to change the tide of the times.
change the tide of the times?
In the test I gave you earlier, although there were a few hiccups at the end, it was you who found the way to turn the situation around. Navigating powerful people, using their character flaws to your advantage. It's just what Miss Kamisato had hoped to see. With your help, even the Vision Hunt decree.
I never offered to help. वही ना भाई, क्यों फोकट में भाई, ले लो भाई.
Development. Perhaps our sources were misleading.
I have one goal here, to meet the Raiden
Yes,
Shogun.
of course. I completely understand, and as agreed, I shall help set that up for you.
Toma sure didn't put up much of a fight.
Well, my work on Rito is done. So I suppose this is goodbye for now.
Bye-bye.
Oh, one more thing. This invitation letter is for you. When you get to Narukami Island, you can find me at the Komori Tea House, as per the letter. Good luck with everything. See you soon.
Toma's not such a bad guy, huh?
But there is one problem.
What's up?
The Outlanders are unable to leave Rito.
Right! Paimon forgot all about that. Wait, so did Toma forget that too?
This must be the next part of the test.
No wonder he was so matter-of-fact about the whole thing. As soon as we get off Ritu, Paimon's going straight to Komori Tea House to settle the score.
भाई गुस्सा हो गए बेचारे.
Well, guess we should give it a try. Let's head to the border and see how far we get.
बॉर्डर पे जाके देखते भाई. 32, लेट्स गो. AR बढ़ते ही जा रहा है. रिमोट्स भी मिलते जा रहे हैं भाई. अच्छा है, अच्छा है. कोबायाशी.
Stop there. Present your travel permits.
Sorry, but we really gotta get to Narukami Island. It's kinda urgent.
If you don't have a travel permit, this is as far as you'll get. Those are the rules.
Yeah.
As expected. Traveler, you gotta think of something. How do
Yashu Commission has heard of. I wonder if the Kanju Commission has heard of this.
Are you saying we should go and meet with the Guess it can't hurt to try. Even if Paimon has a few choice words to say about his subordinate, who knows? Maybe he's our biggest fan.
दोनों ऑप्शन थे, पहला चूज किया. देखते हैं क्या होगा. Rito escaped plan, go to Kanju Commission. Blah blah. पे चढ़ना है ऊपर. टाइम पास. हाँ.
Halt! This is the Kanjo Commissioner's office. No trespassers.
We're here to see,
The-
the Kanjo Commissioner?
The Kanjo Commissioner seldom entertains Outlanders. Leave now or we'll be forced to...
Ah, wait.
Oh, Commissioner!
These two are honored guests from afar. No need to give them the usual spiel. Come on in. Let's see what we can do for you.
Did you get all that?
मिस्टर.
My sincere apologies.
आया बड़ा. जानता नहीं कि कौन है अपन. 2 नेशंस को बचा है. फिर तो हमोंकिला है. क्या बोले. स्टैमिना बढ़ाने वाला. घर के अंदर है मैं.
I am Hiragi Shinsuke, Kanjo Commissioner and head of the Hiragi clan.
I'm honored to meet you.
Sir, so the reason we wanted to come and see you was because...
All right, all in good time. 2 travelers renowned far and wide have shown up to see me, and I should very much like to make their acquaintance. Let's not limit this to business only.
Yes.
So what you're saying is we really are pretty famous, huh?
Absolutely. How many other people in the world have what it takes to knock the wind out of Storm Terror's sails and put the overlord of the vortex back under the sea, eh?
Thank you, bhai. Thank you.
Exactly! Paimon thinks you make an excellent point.
And I hear you also foiled a Fatui plot in Liyue Harbor. Even beat one of their harbingers in a duel.
बुलन से
Is that true?
मारा तो था भाई.
You heard about that too? Yep, it's true, all right.
फेमस तो है भाई.
As I thought.
Something wrong?
No. I'm simply awestruck by you both is all. Rito is greatly honored to have you visit. One other thing I heard about you is your great zeal for helping other people. This makes me wonder
भाई इसको भी अभी
whether
मदद
you
करो
might be
भाई.
so kind as to render your assistance to the Conjo Commission.
Sure, no problem. Whatever you need, right?
Times to run some errands again.
Excellent. Well then, you must know the Qingxian. A flower grows on the mountaintops of Liyue.
Yep, we've picked a few of those before. So,
You want us to go back to Liu?
us to go back to Liyue?
Yes, bring me 300 Qingxian.
300?
Freshly picked, I mean.
Did Paimon hear that wrong?
Too much trouble, is it? Then how about this? We have a few items that need delivering.
That sounds much more like it.
709 letters to be precise.
क्या कर रहा है ये?
Hey, what gives? How come you don't have people to do that already?
Terribly sorry. We're just a little short on people lately.
क्या है इसका भाई?
What sort of an explanation is that? Traveler, what are we going to do? Should we really help this guy?
Option क्या है अपने पास? I'll consider
That's
it.
the spirit. Don't keep me waiting too long now.
भाई टाइम पास साला. ये करो वो करो.
Halt, you two!
Just as expected.
Miss Hiragi has a letter for you. She insists that you read it immediately.
A letter? Quick, let Paimon see!
Dear traveler, will that I will convey this message blah 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 apologize blah 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 blah.
Surprised at all by this?
रात को मिलने बुला रही है. In short.
Huh? Have you been up to something behind Paimon's back? Let's ask.
चलो रात में चुपचाप. अभी जाएंगे रात को भाई. Let's go. Quest area reached.
Ah, you finally arrived. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Hiragi Chisato. This is technically the second time we have met. It's a pleasure to see you again.
Wow. She's the daughter of the Hiragi clan, all right.
No need to be so formal. I've long marveled at your accomplishments. And at last, we have the chance to meet.
Is it Paimon, or does something seem a bit off here?
The reason why I wanted to secretly meet you here is, well, I feared that I might never have another opportunity to discuss this with you.
Discuss what?
I should like to ask for your help with delivering a letter.
Hey, seriously?
Like father, like daughter. Couldn't you be more original?
No,
जी
you
भाई.
misunderstand me. Please.
मैं उसका मुंह देखा था.
allow me to
बेचारा होप
explain.
के साथ आया था.
I
रात
was
में
hoping that
रात
you
को
could deliver
बुलाया
a letter
भाई.
to Narukami Island in my stead. It is to be given to Kujo Kamachi of the
भाई
Tenryou
वो
Commission.
बेचारे के होप्स तोड़ दिए भाई. Sad भाई.
My
Hopes.
father has always forbidden me from communicating with him. He knows that there are prospects for my marriage that would better serve him politically. But my heart is with Kamaji.
भाई
There is
एवरेज
no
लव
one who
स्टोरी
would dare
भाई.
defy my father's will on Rito, but you are outlanders.
प्यार करना है बाप नहीं जाने दे रहा.
To get to Narukami
एवरेज
Island.
बॉलीवुड स्टोरी. माविका मिल गई. अरे भाई कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन भाई. नाइस नाइस भाई. रिलीज है और मेरे को मिल गई. नाइस नाइस भाई.
I will also do everything in my
तुम
power
ग्राइंड
to
ही कर रहे
help
थे
you
भाई
leave
उतना
Rito.
तो मिलेगी.
That is my promise. To be perfectly honest, as long as you remain
सबर का
in
फल
Inazuma,
और ग्राइंड का
my
भी फल.
father will have
नाइस.
no intention of letting you leave Rito.
कांग्रेट्स भाई. मैं भी अभी पुल करने वाला हूँ. देखते.
I secretly overheard a conversation between my father and a very arrogant-sounding woman just a few days ago. They seemed to be discussing how to keep you here on Rito. In fact, it was the first time I had ever heard my father speak so respectfully to someone who wasn't the Shogun. We don't have much time. I'll tell you my plans to help you off the island. It just so happens that a shipment of
Signature.
goods is... Very well. I'll be waiting for you at the border.
बस उसका वेपन और आर्टिफैक्ट चाहिए सिग्नेचर। अच्छा अरे वो भी मिल जाएगा। अभी मेन मिल गई तो वेपन और आर्टिफैक्ट भी मिल ही जाएंगे। और ग्राइंड करो, और क्या ही बोल सकते। स्ट्रीम के एंड में पुल होगा, स्टिक अराउंड। यस भाई, एंड में पुल होने वाला है, मस्त।
Hold on, please. These goods are being sent to Watatsumi Island?
My lady, this is an unexpected honor. You are correct. These goods have been repeatedly requested by the Kanjo Commissioner. We must be certain that they reach Watatsumi Island intact.
Is there something wrong, Lady Hiragi?
No, as you were. My father simply has some concerns of the shipment's safety and has ordered that myself and an additional
पूरा मैप चूज चुका हूँ। अरे आर्कन क्वेस्ट भी खत्म।
My lady, you aren't suggesting that you intend to escort this shipment personally, are you? There's certainly no need for you to trouble yourself with such a matter. And as for this
आर्कन क्वेस्ट भी खत्म हो गया है, खत्म होने आया। अच्छा वो नया वाला 6 नेशन वाला क्या? नाइस नाइस। ग्राइंड भाई, अलग ग्राइंड कर रहे हो तुम तो।
Please, do not cause us any further delay. If memory serves me right, my father has already asserted that this shipment must arrive on time. I'm certain punishment will be duly dispensed if it fails to do so.
Yes, of course, my lady. It's just that, well, we don't know who this...
Now, need I remind you of the penalty if anything were to happen to me en route? Do you really presume that you can fully guarantee my safety on...
Boy, Chisato can talk the talk.
नया आर्कन क्वेस्ट जिसमें वो एल्डन रिंग जैसा दिखाने वाला बॉस ड्रैगन आता है। अच्छा
It's an honor to have you.
Shinojo, you can't really be agreeing to this.
Well, the request is from Lady Hiragi herself. It is our duty to serve.
Yes, but that's not the problem.
Well then, if we're through here, I suggest we set off at once.
मैं देखा नहीं, मैं क्वेस्ट देखता नहीं, स्पॉइलर मिले इसलिए। तो लाइक मैं अवॉइड करता हूँ जितना स्पॉइलर्स अवॉइड कर सकूँ।
You heard her?
इसलिए मैं ज़्यादा गेंशिन की वीडियोस भी नहीं देखता। करो इसका स्टार्ट। इसको ट्रांसफर वैल्यूटी। अच्छा इसके पीछे भी है। वाह एंडी, यही तो काम बाकी है।
Stay back. We'll handle it.
Not as well as we'll handle it. You're seriously considering taking this job? The terms are ridiculous. Out of the frying pan.
मर। ओवरलोड से मैं ही मर रहा हूँ। नेवर माइंड। अरे मेरे उसको क्यों?
Looks like I got carried away.
मैं बीच में देख नहीं पा रहा।
Scanning.
हाँ भाई, एक दूसरा उधर से मार रहा है। चल क्या बोल रहे थे? नया आर्कन कुछ। अच्छा वही है क्या?
Monster sight. Prepare to counterattack. Protect Lady Hiragi at all costs.
We'll take care of this. Stay with Chisato.
Sight clear.
भाई क्राउड कंट्रोल नहीं हो रहा मेरे से बराबर। रुको एक एक करके मार देता हूँ, खत्म करता हूँ। हैं? मर जा। ये आधा डैमेज हो गया भाई, जल्दी जल्दी मारना पड़ेगा।
Watch out! More monsters inbound!
Lady Hiragi, stay close.
Sight clear.
एक साथ आ।
Scanning.
We'll take those. Long as मैं कुछ नहीं कर।
Surrender and be gentle.
Nice and spicy.
बाओ बिफोर में क्या बोल रहा है? चल चल।
How annoying.
Let's dance.
You win this battle.
बाओ बिफोर में वगैरह हेलो।
We can take refuge in the village up ahead. How are you faring, my lady?
I'm perfectly all right. You may stop here. The road to Narukami Island is just over there. In my letter, I've requested Kamaji to grant you a special travel permit from the Tenryou Commission.
Thank you,
My
Chisato.
lady.
So that's how it is. I had a feeling something was amiss, but
No, Lady Hiragi would never hide anything from us. I'm sure of it. But who is this Kamaji you speak of, my lady?
I'm not afraid to say that he's the one I love.
The one
You love?
Shinojo, did you honestly think that...
What? No, I was just clarifying, that's all.
You two needn't worry. Please, forget that this ever happened. If my father catches word of it, I alone will be held accountable.
Yes, of course. As you wish, my lady.
But what will happen if your actions here are discovered?
Don't fret. My father has always been one to spoil me. The worst he'd do is sentence me to half a day without food or something to that effect.
Huh. Paimon never suspected a guy like him could have
Spoiler
a soft
60.
side.
Haha.
I wish you a safe journey.
Bye, Chisato.
कोई
Come
ना
now.
कोई। थोड़े बहुत तो
Quit
मिल ही
your
जाते हैं
staring and
अभी।
let's get moving.
कितने अवॉइड
We've got
करेंगे?
goods to shift.
ये बेचारा उसके प्यार में था। लॉल, इसका भी कट गया। पहले ट्रैवलर और अभी ये कट तो सबका रहा है। ट्रैवलर को भी पहले लगा ओ अभी मेरे साथ कुछ तो होगा। सैड भाई, बुरा लगा भाई। उधर ये है क्रिस्टल ऑफर करते हैं तो स्टैमिना बढ़ेगा अपना। लेट्स गो। मैप कैसा है ये मैप में टीपी टीपी बहुत है, ये सब अनलॉक करने पड़ेंगे। अपने को इधर नीचे जाना है। अच्छा मैं हील करके आता हूँ, स्टैचू के पास जाता हूँ, हील करता हूँ, फिर वापस आता हूँ। Where is this heal? इधर आया तो मेरे को एक ट्राई भी करना है, तो रेजोनेट करके देखता हूँ ट्रैवलर को, इसके क्या एबिलिटीज है मेरे को देखना था। Press my traveler.
This world is...
Resonate with electro. Oh. उसे चेस्ट आया क्या? ओह ओके। देखो फॉल डैमेज कितना कम पड़ा, देखा तुम लोगों ने? इतने ऊपर से गिरा, फॉल डैमेज कुछ भी नहीं था। ओके तीन, 1 2 3 इतना खास नहीं है। अल्ट तो अभी चार्ज नहीं है, जाने दो। छोड़ो अभी, देखते किधर गया मेरा कावे।
I'll take care of this.
लेट्स गो। टेलीपोर्ट भाई, टाइम पास नहीं करने के लिए वक्त नहीं हमारे पास। टीपी अनलॉक करते करते जाएंगे भाई, इससे में काम आ जाए पता नहीं। कोंडा विलेज, ये मराठी नाम लगता है कोंडा। तो ऊपर क्रिस्टल, तो ऊपर जाए कैसे अभी? ये लकड़ी चढ़ सकते अपन? पोल ये चढ़ नहीं चढ़ सकते भाई। बर्ड एग लॉल नहीं चढ़ सकते भाई, ये भी पेड़ चढ़ के आना पड़ेगा। देखते हैं, वेस्ट की तरफ ध्यान देते। चढ़ता, अरे नहीं चढ़ता है वो, किधर चढ़ रहा है? रुक देखते। देख मैं पोल के पास है। अरे अभी नहीं चढ़ रहा था, कैमरे साला ये। मैं अभी ट्राई किया, अभी नहीं चढ़ा। ठीक है, कैमर कहीं का। और एक क्रिस्टल है कहीं तो इस डायरेक्शन में। इधर ही कहीं तो है। इधर है, ऊपर नीचे कहीं भी नहीं, तो बंदे। टेस्ट लेके जा कर सकते हैं। टेस्ट एम करना पड़ता है सर। ठीक है यार, देखो क्रिस्टल्स मार्किंग दिख। इलेक्ट्रो बैरियर, वाह। नीचे कुछ तो है। मेन क्वेस्ट से भटक क्यों रहे? इसके अंदर है पर मेन क्वेस्ट से भटक रहे। तो ये सब ऑफलाइन ग्राइंड है। उसके नीचे था, उसको देखते बाद में देखते। उधर भी एक। ओ ये बड़ा आदमी,
Let's get down to business.
बॉस, मिनी बॉस।
We're finally on our own way again.
ठीक है, मतलब ओके था मिनी बॉस तो। ये कूलोस नहीं मिलेगा अभी, बहुत कम करना पड़ता है आई थिंक। अच्छा
Say he would meet us again. Oh right, Kamori Tea House.
अरे ये सर के ऊपर है। हाँ मिल गया। चलो अभी आज प्रीमोस मिल। ये व्यू पॉइंट है ना, कैप्चर थंबनेल बनाने के लिए काम आएगा। ये पर्पल क्या है मेरे को ये समझ में नहीं आया। इसमें इलेक्ट्रिसिटी मारना है, क्या करना है? अरे कुछ तो हुआ, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी मारा तो मैं। कुछ नहीं हुआ, छोड़ो फिर। इधर है मैप में। हाँ ऊपर है शायद। इलेक्ट्रिसिटी मार के, अरे देखा इलेक्ट्रिसिटी मार के, कुछ लीसा का इलेक्ट्रिसिटी से कुछ हुआ नहीं। डल ब्लेड मिला, ठीक है। लेट्स गो। हेलो भाई, 4 स्टार रेडियंट स्पिन क्रिस्टल, ओके। इधर
According to the letter, this should be the place.
Sorry, we don't serve the general public. I'm afraid you'll have to leave.
Wait! We're not the general public.
Well then, you must be a couple of wandering outlanders that snuck into the nation, judging by your attire.
Are our clothes really so... what?
The Yashiro Commission's seal. This must be from Mr. Toma. It seems there's more to you than meets the eye, in which case, welcome to the Komore Tea House, a safe haven for the Yashiro Commission.
Well, that sounds more like it.
अंदर ये कितना बड़ा एक्ट है, खत्म ही नहीं हो रहा।
Well, now that we're here, where's Toma? Paimon doesn't see him anywhere. Do you think he forgot his promise to meet us?
डॉगो देखो।
Forgot their promise. I was beginning to think you'd forgotten about me.
अरे टोमा है?
What? Is that dog talking to us?
Relax. No need to look so surprised. I take it this is the first time you've seen me in this form? Huh. So you didn't see anything like this when you were in Liyue Harbor?
भाई ये क्या है, पहली बार देख रहा हूँ ये कुत्ता बन रहा।
This does suddenly seem less out of the ordinary.
I know dog Wednesday one.
All right. I've had my fun.
भाई ये साला पीछे से।
Hey, you're this close to getting an ugly nickname, mister.
Well, I've had some time to kill, given that I've been waiting here for you for so long. So I came up with this little fun greeting for when you arrived. But in all seriousness, I would like to apologize about that little test you went through earlier. Though it was quite necessary. It helped us determine whether or not to bring you before Miss Kamisato, and whether you had the courage to face the lightning alongside us.
ए चल बे, टाइम
That
पास।
Paimon's gonna forgive you just because you're getting all serious now.
Sorry, did I overdo it? My apologies. Let me just say this. You've often found yourself skirting the rules from the very beginning, haven't you?
Yes.
Naturally, this is due to your unwavering and resolute determination. A long time ago, we had a friend who was much the same. But when the lightning struck...
You mean Kazuhara's friend?
So you've heard of his story.
Yes.
His light still burns all the more brightly.
Will be allowed to meet the
Yes, of course. I will bring you to the Kamisato residence where the Yashiro Commission is located. But before that, there is one other place I was hoping you both would
अरे
accompany
क्या है,
me to.
इधर चलो उधर चलो, टाइम पास कर रहे हैं भाई।
I would like you to come with me to the statue of the omnipresent god. It's still under construction now, but you can already see it from practically anywhere on Narukami Island.
क्या स्टैचू ऑफ 7 जैसा कुछ है क्या है? टाइम पास की तरह। ओ हेलो, मस्त है भाई ये जगह, बैठने बैठने के लिए एस्थेटिक्स एकदम मस्त। इधर टीपी था, किधर तो टीपी अनलॉक करके जाते हैं, ये वाला। तो बार बार नहीं तो चल के कौन आएगा। चलो मिल गए टीपी। यार अरे ये बीच में पे दूसरा क्वेस्ट चालू हो गया। लकी डॉग गॉबलेट ना। चलो चले, टाइम पास भाई। कितना दूर है ये टीपी इधर भी है। अनलॉक करते चलो भाई।
This area sure feels gloomy. People probably don't come here often. Huh? Are Paimon's eyes playing tricks? Or are there things embedded in the statue?
Visions.
Visions? You mean all the visions that are collected from the
ओ
Vision
देख रहा है
Hunt
यार
Decree
कौन
are put
विजन
into the
हंट डिक्री का
statue?
सीन ये इसके लिए
So
विजन
you've
हंट
already
डिक्री
heard
चालू
of
है
the Vision Hunt Decree. Before I try to explain, I should perhaps remind you first that Mondstadt is the city of freedom, and Liyue is the city of contracts. As for Inazuma, it's known as the Nation of Eternity. The Raiden Shogun is both the nation's most powerful ruler and its deity. The Eternity in question is her endless and unchanging will to rule over Inazuma. As such, she relies on the Tri-Commission to regulate the nation's affairs, and the Sakoku Decree to limit the
एक तो
people's
है
movement.
भाई
The Shogun wishes to keep Inazuma in stasis, allowing the stream of time to flow from one end to the other without disturbing it.
Seems like every god has their own will.
Of course,
Yes.
this is my own limited understanding. As for the reason behind the recent Vision Hunt Decree,
रीजन बता रहा है अपने को
perhaps
ठीक
the
है
Shogun believes that visions grant people the power to change, and that her eternity doesn't allow for such instability to exist. Whatever the case, the fact is that the Raiden Shogun has dispatched the Tenryou Commission to scour the nation for visions, embedding each one in this statue. And this statue of the omnipresent god can be seen as Inazuma's symbol of eternity.
But if that's the case, wouldn't you say that the Raiden Shogun is being, oh, I don't know,
सेल्फिश लाइक फोटो
Only
देखा है
outlanders
क्या
such as yourselves
राइडन
would
पता
ever
है
dare
ना
speak out so directly against the Raiden Shogun.
एप
And yet, I agree.
हम्म
The Vision
राइडन
Hunt
नहीं
Decree is something that simply should
राइडन
not
वो
exist.
थंडर गॉड
And Miss Kamisato has been committed to fighting it since
जापानीज
the
थंडर
day
गॉड
it
बोल
was
रहा है उनको तो
announced.
वही आई गेस ओ
Huh? Hey, are you okay? You look like your mind is elsewhere.
Sound? What sound? I didn't hear anything. Did something happen?
Yeah, you touched the statue and
और
then...
दूसरा एक रेडन मेरे को मॉर्टल कॉम्बैट वाला याद आ रहा है सर्च मत कर अच्छा ठीक है सर्च नहीं करता हूँ
Aspirations?
रेडन मेरे को दो ही पता है एक तो थंडर गॉड और एक को मॉर्टल
Have
कॉम्बैट
you
वाला
heard it before? That when a person's ambition reaches a certain strength, the gods look upon them with favor. That is where visions come from. In other words, a person's vision represents their ambition. So if what you just said is true, then the ambitions of these people are stronger than I imagined.
ओ सो विजन सिंबलाइज एम्बिशन मतलब विजन
Alright,
की आवाज सुन रहा है
time
ये
for the next stop on our tour of Narukami Island, the Kamisato residence.
Finally!
चलो भाई उतना दूर 700 मीटर बाप रे 700 इतना दूर लेके जा रहा है यार ये क्या करे अभी जाना तो पड़ेगा टीपी से इधर का एक टीपी अनलॉक इधर का टीपी अनलॉक है इधर से सीधा जाके ऐसा जा सकता ये वाला एक टीपी मार करके रखता हूँ ये भी जाते जाते अनलॉक करके जाते पानी 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 अरे डूब गए पानी में मैप में वाइट आइकन्स देख प्लस वाले प्लस जैसा है एक्चुअली चार्जर में ये बोल रहा है ये बोल रहा है वाटर पे ये पानी वाला मार्क बोल रहा है क्या तू ये क्या करता है जाके देखता हूँ रुक पानी में क्या है वो ये टीपी भी मारेगा अच्छा ठीक है उधर फैंसी स्टैमिना बढ़ जाए, स्टैमिना बढ़ जाए, बढ़ा लो। बोट से लेके जाएगा मेरे को वो सिली।
Sight clear.
वाटर वेव राइडर, ओह समन वेव राइड, ओह हवर बोट, ओह चला सकता हूँ मैं, ओहो हो, लेट्स गो। इधर से मैं ऐसा चल के जाऊँ, ओके इधर से इधर तक जा सकता हूँ, मतलब तो सीन है क्या? फुल थ्रॉटल भाई, चलो फुल स्पीड में। ओहो हो, ओहो हो, फायर भी करता है, आइए तो। और ई से क्या होता है? अचीवमेंट अनलॉक, डेजा वू अचीवमेंट अनलॉक। ओहो हो, अरे फंस गए में। क्या है ये? अरे फंस गए पानी में, निकला निकला साला। ओहो हो यार, मतलब बहुत पानी से लेके जाना पड़ेगा। क्या थोड़ा सा भी लैंड आया तो अटक जाता है, दूर दूर से लेके जाना पड़ेगा अभी। अरे ये मस्त है मेरा बोट, फुल ओपी। इधर से भी चढ़ाई करके जाना पड़ेगा। रुको इसको मार, अरे डैमेज नहीं है, छोड़ो। बाहर कैसे निकलते? अच्छा डाई ब्रो, पानी में मेरे सामने नहीं रुकने का। अब वैसे ही बाकी आइलैंड पर जाना। अच्छा ओके ओके, गॉट इट गॉट इट। अच्छा है। तो पानी में आ।
Sight clear.
Finally, no.
अभी तो भाई ऐसे ही घूमूंगा भाई, बस पानी में जाऊंगा आऊंगा। इजी लाइफ, अभी ऊपर चढ़ना है, ये इजी लाइफ नहीं है। चढ़ो अभी ऊपर आराम से यार। तेरे क्रिस्टल है, छोड़ो अभी ऊपर चढ़ रहा मैं, फिर से नीचे जाके ऊपर चढ़ूंगा। नहीं जाते वक्त लेके जाएंगे उसे, पता चल गया लोकेशन, अभी जाते वक्त लेके जाएंगे। मैं फिर से नहीं चढ़ रहा इतना सब ऊपर भाई। चोटी आ रही है कि नहीं? फाइनली थक गई भाई बेचारी चढ़ते चढ़ते। हाँ हाँ टीपी अनलॉक करके जाएंगे भाई। फिर से नहीं आ रहा मैं टीपी अनलॉक। चलो अंदर, क्या मसला है बताओ आपका।
So, this is the kind of place where the big shots of Inazuma live, huh?
Welcome at last to the Kamisato residence, honored guests. Miss Kamisato is delighted to finally meet you.
Is this the Shirasage Himegimi you keep going on about? So, where's she at? Behind the screen?
Behind the screen?
Yes. As the daughter of the Yashiro Commission, this is how Miss Kamisato is accustomed to receiving guests.
अच्छा भाई।
Consider it a time-honored tradition within the Yashiro Commission. Forgive me if this...
Makes sense. She's a super important person after all.
Please forgive my lack of courtesy for receiving you in this fashion, especially following such a long and wearisome journey over the sea. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation, and Toma assures me that you do indeed possess the power to change the tide of the times. At present in Inazuma, in the name of the Vision Hunt Decree, the people's aspirations are being senselessly trampled underfoot. Though the Yashiro Commission serves the Shogun, it is the people with whom we share close bonds, given the contact we are required to have with them in the performance of our duties. A commission's power rises and falls with the trust of their people. Thus, we cannot remain indifferent to this situation without also remaining indifferent to our own fate. Traveler, lend us your power and we can...
Yes, I did not come to start rebellion.
See, milady, it's just like I said. This will take us nowhere.
No, please, wait!
जा रहा हूँ भाई, मेरे को नहीं टाइम पास करना। Desperation भाई।
I will introduce you to the Raiden Shogun on one condition. You must fulfill 3 small wishes on my behalf.
What are your wishes?
They pertain to 3 whose visions were taken from them. Perhaps once you've met them, you will understand.
A warrior who guards a village, a former samurai who helped carry out the Vision Hunt Decree, and a swordmaster determined to become the best in the world. Does Paimon got that right?
Correct. Please do all you can to help them. I will await... Then you have...
I'm sure you'll do great.
भाई बस एक के बाद ये करो वो करो भाई, पूरा टाइम पास।
Let's see.
Why are you doing this?
Precisely. It's much too sudden. We've had no time to prepare. The children are desperate for you to take them out to play. Please.
That must be the guy Ayaka told us about.
Ah, you must also be here to try and Tejima has protected this place ever since he arrived here 30 years ago, keeping out the treasure hoarders, fending off any monsters that draw near, resolving quarrels between the villagers. But now, all of a sudden, he says he plans to leave us. We can't help but wonder, was it something we did? We will gladly apologize if that's the case.
क्या है भाई तेरा? बुड्ढा बुड्ढी को परेशान कर रहा है।
you want my opinion, it's clear that Tejima had done nothing wrong, and still they confiscated his vision. After that, he became a completely I can't claim to fully understand it, but I could tell that he'd lost something very important to him. He went off on a walk, alone, circled the village a few times, and then out of the blue, he announced that he was going to leave and become a wanderer. Truth be told, we aren't sure whether trying to keep him here is the right thing to do. But equally, it doesn't feel right to let him leave when he's in this state. He's a lost soul.
Seems like he's a well-respected guy around here. You must be Tejima. So what's made you want to up and leave all of a sudden?
Me? It's not a question of why I want to leave. True. But that's not why I chose to stay here. And what made me want to come here 30 years ago? And why have I never wanted to leave in all? I don't have answers to those questions because I can't remember anymore. Ever since they took my vision away, it's like a slice of my memory is gone.
अच्छा मतलब विजन के साथ मेमोरी भी गई इसकी.
I knew I wanted to stay here. But whatever resolve I had then, it's gone now. So I thought, what's to stop me from moving around instead?
Okay. Well, in that case, if we help you rediscover the
मेमोरी भी वाइप नहीं हुई, मतलब आधा पोर्शन चला गया. वो बोल रहा था ना, उसको याद नहीं आ रहा उसका पर्पस क्या था.
It's not gonna be easy. Oh, maybe if you just try a little harder to remember, then it'll all...
Oh, that reminds me. Last time I brought Tejima some fruit, I do believe I saw him writing in a diary.
I keep a diary?
ज़्यादा ही थोड़ा तो नहीं ज़्यादा ही मेमोरी वाइप हो गया.
I honestly can't seem to remember.
Oh yes you do. And what's more, I remember you saying at the time that you wanted to make a note of a few interesting things. Things which would prove very important at a later date.
Perfect! So if we want to keep Tejima from leaving, we just need to find his diary. It must be around here somewhere. Let's take a look.
If you don't mind, we will leave you to find the diary. We should head back to the village to inform the others of Tejima's situation.
दूसरे के घर में जाके ढूंढने में क्या इंटरेस्ट इन लोग.
This looks like Tejima. Let's see what we have today. The villagers and I got together to cook dry braised salted fish. I messed up and burned mine a little, so I had to pretend that it was
बाकी दोनों के विजन्स भी ले लिए होंगे लगता है. हाँ वही लगता है. वो बोलिए 3 लोगों के विजन गए थे.
After I pulled him out, he
3 लोग को हेल्प करना है. हाँ वही.
was still in the water. I searched the water the whole afternoon before finding out that Bamboo was the name of his pet crab. I went kite flying today. The string broke, so I chased after it as fast. Seems like your average diary of daily... Huh? Wait, I went to pray at the shrine again today and stayed there a while. The Omamori you gave me has faded a little, but it is still my most treasured possession. Now that's the kind of info we're looking for. Time to pay a visit to the shrine.
अरे यार टाइम पास भाई. टाइम तो बाजू में ही है.
So this is the Omamori Tejima wrote about. Interesting. Looking at the color and the design, Paimon would have thought it belonged to a child. But anyway, if he had this with him all the time, there's a chance some of his elemental energy remained on it. Do you think that it might come in handy?
Went aside to find clues in the diary. कुछ तो था।
Here we are. This seems to be somewhere that Tejima visited a lot. The soil looks like it's been disturbed. Maybe Tejima buried something precious here. Something that kept him in the village all these years?
जा रहे बच्चे की डेड बॉडी खोद रहे, पता चल रहा है।
If it made him stick around for 30 years.
Don't tell me बच्चों का अरे अच्छा ठीक है।
A letter.
बाहर फाइट चल रहा है, डेड बॉडी खोद रहे हैं दोनों मिलके। किसी घर वाले को दफनाया था। If we become separate during war, go wait for me in the Konda village. There will be safe home for us there. अच्छा, it's here.
So the reason Tejima came here was to wait for someone. But he's been here for 30 years. Well, let's go give Tejima his stuff back and take...
Oh. चलो
Well, I'll be. That's certainly my handwriting. And I guess the Omamorian letter belonged to me too. But I have no memory of anything that's written in this diary. Still, it's clear that I was waiting for someone here, and that I chose to wait for 30 years. Over the years, I must have made a note of anything interesting. And just look at all the things that did happen over the years. The time has flown by so quickly. How could I have forgotten something so important to me? Now that I think about it, when my vision was taken from me, it felt love, regret? No. After all, it's as if she'd never been in my life to begin with. I think, although, when I think about it like
क्या है, मैं skip कर रहा हूँ भाई, time pass चल रहा है।
I shall
Tejima seems to be dealing... Seems it's just... That's certainly... At least we were able... One day, I'll be as great as
My God भाई। स्टोरी है, टाइम पास। Inazuma City. Oh.
They say the Tenryou Commission is directly controlled by the Shogun. They're the ones responsible for maintaining law and order in Inazuma. But why would they take action against one of their own? Paimon doesn't get it. Huh? There seems to be some commotion over there. Let's go see what's happening.
I'll ask one more time. Do you intend to withhold this month's emergency provisions?
The entire clan is counting on that food. We demand an explanation.
How many times do I have to say it? I don't know anything about emergency provision.
You dare deceive us? Those provisions are essential.
Do you samurai think you can just do whatever you please? The Tenryou Commission will hear of this.
Oh, huh? And who are you? One of Kurosawa's gang, no doubt.
What? We just happened to be passing by. We heard the commotion and came to see what the matter was.
I see. You seem to have come just at the right time. Perhaps you can help us settle. This is Kurosawa. He's a samurai and a member of the Shogun's army. They issue emergency provisions to the area, and he's the one responsible for distribution. In the past, we'd simply ask him for provisions and everything would be delivered. Now, he suddenly refuses to give us anything. He's keeping the provisions for himself, I just know it. We'll starve without them.
No one seems to care about us. We used to think Kurosawa was a kind man. It's no wonder all the visions have been confiscated. The Raiden...
This must be one of the people Ayaka asked us to help. Maybe we should talk to Kurosawa and...
भाई इसका भी विजन गया लगता है। विजन के साथ मेमोरी लॉस। इसका विजन और मेमोरी दोनों ढूंढते।
Heard of these emergency provisions? I don't know whether it's rumors or whether they're trying to blackmail me. But my own family can barely get by as it is. No, if you'll excuse me, I've got other matters to it. And that's the first bit of truth I've heard all day. The Shogun's army told me that I was unworthy of my vision. And they said I was slacking off in my work. Apparently, I'd even disappointed the Raiden Shogun.
Well, that's strange. You were helping enforce the Vision Hunt decree. Why would you be unworthy of your vision?
To be perfectly honest, I don't seem to remember the detail. All I know is that I would perform certain things every month. And it's not just that. I have this unsettling feeling, like...
Does it have to do with the missing emergency provision?
I didn't take any. Like I said, if I was taking them for myself, I wouldn't be good. To top it all off, my house was just raided by treasure hoarders, which is why I came here in the first place. I was chasing after them when I got held up by these two. If you don't believe me, go find the treasure hoarders yourself.
But we better confer. We should be able to...
चलो भाई treasure hoarders चलते हैं। चलो पकड़ सबको पकड़ना है। ये बच्चों को तो ऐसे
We really outdid ourselves all those samurai houses packed with goods.
You haven't seen anything yet. Today's just the beginning. I'll be leading you all on an epic journey of...
You demand, boss!
These seem like the treasure hoarders we're after.
आ गया।
Nice and spicy.
Another test subject.
Another test subject.
Come
फिर से बोलो। फिर से बोलना another test subject क्या बोल रहे थे?
Oh, there goes all the Mora. We worked hard to steal. Come on, boss.
Not bad, kid. You ever think of joining the treasure hoarders? Kurosawa. So he's the one who sent you after us, huh? Just our luck.
So what did you see inside? Was it stuffed with food supplies?
Food supplies? You kidding? That place was a complete mess. All we found was a strange-looking box. I didn't want anyone else to see it, but now that you've caught us, how about we make a deal? That little box for our freedom.
You've got a deal. Now show us what's in the...
Huh? What the?
There's nothing in here, but I...
Yeah, a lot of them, and they all seem to be made out to the owner of a general goods store. We better talk to this Miss Aoi and get to the... As for you guys, you're free to go.
Yes. So, we redeemed ourselves for some IOUs. Does that mean...
Shut it.
IOUs मिले हुए क्या करेंगे उस IOUs का? चलो टेलीपोर्ट। हाँ जल्दी पहुंच गए। ये बाजू में ATP के।
Welcome to, or perhaps the... Ah, so you're friends of Kurosawa, I take it?
Whoa! Let's not get ahead of ourselves. How did Kurosawa end up owing you so much money? Did he buy anything super expensive here?
Let me think. Kurosawa would come regularly to purchase large quantities of foodstuffs. He'd always put the payment on his own account. However, the price of provisions began to skyrocket recently, and his salary was no longer enough to cover the cost. So, he started writing out IOUs to cover whatever he couldn't afford.
So that's how he was getting those emergency provisions. But why did he have to purchase a usual amount? If the prices increased, couldn't he just buy...
Well, if you think about it, the citizens receiving the emergency provisions must have been carefully calculating how much they needed to sustain them each time. Kurosawa thought that it would be quite the disappointment for them if they found they didn't have enough. So he deemed it necessary to take on the debt rather than let the people down.
भाई respect भाई respect.
Kurosawa was purchasing all the emergency provisions at his own expense. And no one ever appreciated what he did.
People's attitudes will always reflect their circumstance. If you ask me, Had Kurosawa told everyone the truth about the supplies, of course, I'm sure there would still have been some unrest. As for why he chose to spend his own money on emergency provisions, if you're still curious, why don't I see? Most unfortunate. If he doesn't clear the debt on his name, he'll have no choice but to sell that sword that is so dear to him.
Sword?
Oh, didn't he tell you? He possesses a very valuable blade. He's carried it for years. I've asked him about its origins. He told me that it was a gift from his... In hindsight, I regret that I never made an offer on it. Why don't you ask him about the sword yourself? Oh, but before you go...
But we didn't...
Information is all... Don't worry. I won't charge...
At least we now know where the... Let's go talk to Kurosawa.
Let's go भाई कुरोसावा के पास. कुरोसावा क्या? Chat with Kurosawa.
What are you doing?
I presented them with a choice. Either they left or I drew my sword. It turned out to be a real time saver, actually. Did you manage to track down the treasure hoarders?
That just about sums it up.
Strange. Is that really the kind of person I was? I don't really have any such recollection. Why was I purchasing emergency provisions for everyone? And why would I put myself in such a difficult situation? But I could not deny that when I brandished my sword to scare those two away, I could sense that my body was somehow... This sword was once wielded by my father. I remember once when I was young, I wanted to sneak out with the blade. What did he say? It would seem that I forgot many important things when my vision was taken from me.
Achha.
All I can remember now is my father telling me that this blade bore his life's creed and said to me,
This with this sword, you should.
Hey, if you look carefully, there seems to be some words engraved on the hilt. Can you recognize the words?
Those words are virtue and justice.
Virtue? And somehow those two words seem to explain taking on seemingly endless debts to make others happy. I guess that must... But what use are virtue and justice? I purchased the provisions for those in need. The Tenryo Commission seized my vision. And the very people I was so desperately trying to help refused to understand. And the irony of all of it is, I somehow still felt sorry when threatening them with my... I'm incapable of being a good person.
Yet another trouble. When we get the chance, let's speak to Toma about Kurosawa's debt. The Yashiro Commission... In any case, we must never let him sell off that sword. Yeah. Seems like fortunately for us, you don't have a vision. Let's go find the next poor soul.
Let's go find next poor soul. भाई क्या बंदी है? पास ही है तो. ए दीदी चढ़ो ऊपर.
The third person who had their vision taken is supposed to be a famous sword master around these. Paimon heard that he's the present-day master of Meikyo-shi. This is his dojo. Luckily, there's some people around.
Nanako, don't worry. Sensei will be... Those thugs that challenged the dojo were strong, but he fought them all off in the...
Maybe, but... Things have gotten dangerous before in the past, but
It's just because he's been possessed, that's all. What?
Hey there! Did something happen?
What happened?
Who are you? I don't care whether you're trespassers or just here to harass us while Sensei is impaired. Get out of here! Don't make me draw my blade, or you won't live to regret it.
No! You got it so wrong. We just came here to...
Disciples?
Yep. We've heard all about the mighty master of Meikyo Shisui art. It's the whole reason we came all this way. But then we got here and overheard you talking about how he...
From the way you're dressed, it doesn't look like you're from around here. Please, accept my apologies. We've had so many people trying to cause us trouble recently that we're on high alert. You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid. I see you are earnest in your pursuit. Sensei's name is Domon. Though self-taught, he mastered the art of the sword to a high level. He once said that his goal was to become the best, and so, even while training us. But then...
Not long ago, Sensei had his vision taken away. He says the strangest things over and over. Junya and I have discussed it, and we both think that he's being possessed, but if I'm honest, I still have my doubts over whether he'll...
The Grand Narukami Shrine.
You haven't heard of it? It's the largest shrine on Narukami Island.
Oh.
The head shrine maiden is reputed. Not that we'd have any means of involving the head shrine maiden, of course. So don't worry, Nanako. Since the exorcism will take place this evening, you're both more than welcome to come and...
So,
Let's
losing
go,
your
bhai.
vision can cause possession?
पोजीशंस तो आई डोंट थिंक इनका वहम होगा 18 से 24 के बीच में कंफर्म Talk to Junya.
Shh. So you decided to come just now, when Nanako was attending to him. She heard him whispering a few names to him. When she asked him who the people were, he suddenly looked panic-stricken and pushed her away. It looked like he was in great distress. All the while he kept calling those names. One of them was Anzai. He used to be a fellow disciple. Sensei wouldn't stop calling his name. The ritual has now begun. Please, excuse me for a moment while I fetch some water. If he wakes up, he is sure...
तो भागा देख भागा भागा
Huh? Who's that? We won't let them get away.
We won't let them get away भाई पकड़ो पकड़ो पकड़ो
Seems they aren't here. Should we keep going further up?
भागो
According
भागो
to
भागो
Miss Kamisato, is this definitely the right place? Let's look a little further up. Aha!
पकड़ डाल
Are you sure you're Domon's disciples? Unless...
Excuse me? And what are you doing sneaking around these parts?
Bad news? I'll have you know I trained side by side with... I don't care to talk about that time anymore.
His senior?
Anzai? Yes. That because I don't wish to see Domon or... When we were young, we trained under the same swordmaster. I had begun training 5 years before him, and everyone... Practitioners of Make-Yoshi Sui art seek to achieve... But Domon was different. The first thing he did when he joined was go straight to our sensei and ask him, with a beaming smile on his face, how to become the best in the... Sensei scolded him and told him that the art of the sword should not be used for such vain ends. I thought so too at the time, but Domon began making swift progress in his training and even started catching up with me. Only then did I realize that it was Domon who had long since freed his mind from all agitation. He was consumed by his singular desire to become the best in the world. He sought nothing less than perfection in the art.
Sure sounds like he meant business.
Because until he arrived, I was convinced that I would... Of all the disciples, I was the most gifted. Domon's arrival changed everything. When we sparred later, I heard that he sparred with Sensei too. Sensei was advanced in years by then, and unfortunately that match used up every last ounce of it. After that I wanted nothing further to do with him. Deep down though, I still respected his mastery of the... So, when I heard rumors that he had lost his mind, my first reaction was to dismiss them as false. I decided to quietly come and see if it were true. Then, so you see... Okay, you've heard my story.
Seems like still...
he's just lost his mind? But how is that possible? No.
Nanako, please.
I am sorry. With what powers I have, I can find no sign of any malignant but spirits may take a myriad of forms in this world. Many and all is certainly not lost. For I received word.
Lady Yai? Is that...
The head shrine maiden of the Grand Narukami Shrine?
Correct. Lady Yai is most knowledgeable indeed, and has abundant. I am unable to say for...
Excuse me, Miss Inagi, but I must ask, should we prepare a greeting gift for Lady...
That won't be necessary. All that is required of you is your timely arrival at the Grand... I must leave now.
चलो भाई चलो.
Who'd have thought Lady Yai...
Do you mean to say that...
No, that's not what I meant. I just mean this is... Anyway, given that you've traveled all this way just...
Sure! Who knows? Maybe...
My God भाई वो shrine इतना दूर है भाई अभी फिर से चल के पड़े. अभी जस्ट मैं आगे निकला उधर.
While gazing out the window.
Wow.
No pain.
New game.
You're in for a little shock.
ये ऊपर लाइन क्या आ गया? तो लाइन से क्या होता? अच्छा टी दबाओ क्या? टी. ओह. ये मस्त है. ऊपर का क्या था? चढ़ना ऊपर दिया है. ये आधी टाइम ग्लिच मारते रहते हैं लोग. हो सस्ते हो हम के लिए.
No pain.
No gain. ओ भाई अभी नीचे गिरने वाला था. Fuck. टाइन किधर है? मेरे नीचे के ऊपर. मेरे को नीचे जाके नहीं आना फिर. ऊपर ही है. Summon electrogram. Okay. Oh, Jord, bhai. Hi, yeah. OP skills. ये मस्त है. स्लिंगिंग बस इधर से उधर. नाइस. इधर है. इधर समन किया उसने. अच्छा ऊपर है. ये ओपी मस्त. इधर से उधर टीपी मारो. मजा आ गया. पहले टेलीपोर्टर चालू करते. नाइस. एस्थेटिक्स तो है भाई. वो पेड़ देखो तो वुल्फ जैसा चेहरा लग रहा है ना वो इधर से पेड़ का.
Do you think that's Lady Yai? was so Also, is it just Paimon? Or did she look right at us just now? It was probably nothing.
Keep away. I gave up the art of the sword. Please, let me go, I beg you.
As you can see, Lady Yai, Domon has persisted in this state for some time now. He appears to see those who have lost to him in duels past, gathered all around him to persecute him.
Lady Yai, it must be. This is nothing like him at all.
Persecuted him?
No
Hello?
matter what came his way, he would.
I'm sorry.
Yai
It
Miko.
is clear to me that your sensei is not possessed by any evil spirit.
But then does that?
Yes. This is a
Change
change in
in
the person
person.
himself. Unable to cope with the tremendous pressure he was under, he suffered a spiritual collapse.
अच्छा
With his wits
ये
impaired,
याई
he
को भी अच्छा
finally
कैरेक्टर है,
descended
मैं सुना है
into
इसका नाम याई को.
madness. As one who is thrown into the sea, though he fights back desperately against his predicament. As for what has triggered this change, I believe it must be the loss of his
Stripped of his
Ambitions.
But
Oh,
Lady Yai, even without his ambition, why should he suffer such a dramatic change?
Your school practices Meikyo Shisui art, does it not? Stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation.
nice, nice.
What a fine notion that would. There was once one who claimed to be indifferent to rank and reward, and who fled enraged when defeated by his junior. And then there was an aged swordmaster who was aggrieved enough that he crossed blades with a disciple he himself had taught. Then, what of the one who crossed blades with his own sensei and beloved fellow disciple, and defeated them both? Can one truly remain unagitated, of still mind in moments such as the...
Wait.
I'm not sure I understand. The path of the sword master is filled with twists and turns. It is no small undertaking to pursue the position of greatest. It requires one to take their sword firmly in both hands and cut down the hopes and dreams of others. Only a deep commitment to his ambition to become the best made it possible for him to rise above the pain of these encounters.
अच्छा.
To focus on the way ahead. When that ambition disappeared, he began to doubt himself.
Oh.
As he battled his growing anxiety, he
Anxiety
slowly descended into
लॉल
the
भाई
state you see
ज़्यादा
him
ही
in now.
relatable stuff है भाई. Anxiety
Much
करते
like a
करते भाई
certain
brain
fatally
fry हो गया.
flawed friend of mine.
Poor sensei. To think he's been suffering so greatly.
I'm sorry. It's all my fault. Father, Sensei.
That's enough.
Huh? Isn't that Ansai? Did he follow us the whole way here?
Ansai, why are there two of you? You're here for revenge, aren't you?
You're right to assume that my feelings towards you are far from kindly. It's been so long now that I made peace with it years ago. I don't think most of the people you beat along the way would hold it against you. On the contrary, when you cut our ambitions short, we entrusted them to you. Now I know that we can't place our hopes in you any longer.
Since you've been
Since
stripped of your ambitions.
too, but that
It's
is no reason to strip them of theirs. Follow the way of the sword all the way to the highest peak.
You taught them that, didn't you?
But what if one
Yeah.
day the same thing happens to them? I put everything I had into trying to become the best. If there's a chance they'll end up like me one day, I'd rather they stay where they are now than go any further down.
Have you asked them what they think?
Sensei, after you rescued me from the hands of the pirates, I told myself I would follow in your footsteps. I can't know whether I will suffer in my future as you do now.
अच्छा,
I
वारा-
want to keep going until the day that I can stand before everyone.
Nanako's far from the only one. Goodness.
You see? You can place
It's
the
the ambition
ambition you
you
once
had.
had. Being
Acha.
stripped of your ambition is something that's never happened to me. So, just as I once placed my ambitions onto you, it is you are not in the same position that I was. When I left,
I'm sorry to have made you worry for me. I no longer have the resolve to become the best in the world. The emptiness and suffering inside of me will not abate, but as your sensei, I shall commit to imparting unto you everything I have learned in my life so this is my promise. And I humbly ask Anzai, my senior, to hold me to my word.
you can count on that. I'd be checking in on you occasionally anyway, just to make sure you hadn't lost your mind again. But I am now used to the life of a wanderer. I do not belong in the dojo anymore. Well, don't just stand there staring at me. Say thank you to Lady Yai and then get yourself back home.
Yaimiko. Yaimiko, she's a disabled, blah,
So
blah, blah.
even though his ambition was taken away, his disciples can take it over on his behalf.
Traveler, a moment, please. Lady Yai has some words for you.
अच्छा बताओ
So,
बताओ.
my intuition was correct. The wind that blows from afar carries fresh life to these shores. For us to meet now is premature. Nevertheless, you set foot on these islands at precisely the right moment.
क्या मतलब क्या बोलना क्या चाहती हो?
I have high hopes for you, child. Don't disappoint me.
भाई मेरे से क्या? हेलो?
Lady Yai seems to have taken a real interest in you. She seems super mysterious. Paimon's so curious what she really meant by all that. We can come back to it another time.
Let's go.
You're in for a little shock.
ये ट्री क्या है? सेक्रेट ट्री. अच्छा ये वो बर्फीले एरिया वाली ट्री. स्पाइन टूथ क्या नाम था? मैं भूल गया भाई उसका नाम. उधर भी एक ट्री था ना, उसके जैसे ट्री है क्या ये? इधर भी ऑफरिंग देना है. इलेक्ट्रो सिजिल देना है. अच्छा इलेक्ट्रो सिजिल तो साथ ही है भाई. रिवॉर्ड्स क्या है? रिवॉर्ड्स देखो भाई. रिवॉर्ड्स देख. अच्छा मेन रिवॉर्ड्स है. रिवॉर्ड्स अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा. विशेस है सॉर्ड का. प्लेन क्राउन. अच्छा ठीक है ठीक है. इलेक्ट्रो सिजिल मिलते ही आऊँगा फिर से. क्या है भाई? इसको भी बोलने दो. क्या बोलना है इसको?
Oh, Ayaka! Guess who fulfilled all your wishes?
Cutscene, let's go.
Ayaka!
कुछ तो गड़बड़ होने वाला है मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा है. ओहो बच्ची. मुंह दिखा. तो
Traveler,
हेलो.
Paimon. It is a pleasure to finally meet you both face to face. I have heard all about how you helped our three friends. My sincerest thanks to you.
Yeah. Short of getting them their visions back, it seems like there's no way to really help them. Ayaka, how come this time you get to come out and meet us in person?
Because now that you have done the three things I asked of you, I consider you to be my friends. As you will observe, I dispense with the screen for Toma also.
Wait a second. But isn't Toma your, servant? Paimon's happy to help and all, but Paimon sure as heck did not sign up to be a servant.
Oh. Paimon, you are most entertaining. Toma is first and foremost my friend, and was so before he ever became my attendant.
Oh, okay then. Ayaka?
Back to the matter at hand. You have now witnessed the pain of those deprived of their visions.
Yeah.
What are your feelings on
I
what
hope
you
they
have
can.
seen? Thunders roar,
The
lightnings
flash,
flash,
the winds assault.
and the rain's descent.
अच्छा.
All these things take place with no regard for the feelings of the common people. But I believe that surely you understand what I must endure. It seems that perhaps now you can appreciate my feelings on all of this. In which case, perhaps
I will
you would
help
be
you
willing to
fight the
reconsider
Vision
your
Hunt
stance?
decree. Let's go.
You will? Really?
But you must keep the promise you made me.
Naturally.
All right, bravo, my lady. You were right all along.
See? I told you he wouldn't reject them. I'd placed my trust in the right person after all. Now then, given that the remainder of our discussion pertains to matters of a more confidential nature, perhaps we could move to the Komore tea house?
But
We
tea,
ought not to involve other members of the Yashiro Commission.
but टी हाउस में प्राइवेट बातें कौन करता है भाई? ये इनका अलग है भाई, टी हाउस में प्राइवेट बातें कर रहे हैं.
Well, here we are again.
Please continue without me.
So, what's the deal with this place anyway? What makes it your favorite meeting spot?
Yes.
This is land that was gifted to the Yashiro Commission by the Shogun. The Kamisato clan has the exclusive right to plan, build, and repair any property on this land, and even to allow or deny access. Such privileges exist due to the Yashiro Commission's role in managing ceremonial affairs.
Oh, Paimon gets it. Gotta keep a bit of mystery,
Once the number of ceremonial affairs conducted in the city began to decline, our forebears built a tea house here.
Makes sense. Perfect place for a secret base.
In any case, we can talk freely here. I presume you have a few questions that you wish to ask?
What kind of god is the Raiden Shogun? Is no one else fighting the Vision Hunt? Have you raised the formal objection?
The almighty Shogun. I've seen her on but only a few occasions. She inspires awe, commands respect, and exudes a sense of absolute authority. But as I recall, there was something else about her that struck me even more deeply. It was her almost complete lack of any emotion.
ये god को
In
emotion
that
नहीं होगा ही.
sense, she appeared to me to be less of a ruler and more of, well, an executive official, I suppose. Focused exclusively on her single goal of implementing eternity, acting accordingly without feeling.
Is no one else?
The issue is this. For the vast majority of people, the Vision Hunt decree is something that has no implications whatsoever. After all, it is but a tiny minority of people who receive visions. Moreover, it is not unknown for visions to spark jealousy in others. Because of this, the attitude of most people towards the Vision Hunt decree is one of indifference.
How can they be like that?
Nevertheless, in addition to us, there is also the resistance on Watatsumi Island.
Resistance? You mean like an army fighting against the decree?
Yes. Many who have lost or fear losing their visions have rallied together under Sangonomiya on Watatsumi Island to form a... To say a little more about Sangonomiya. Historically, there has always been some conflict between them and the shogunate of Narukami Island due to their different belief systems, but I do wonder whether there may be some other agenda behind their resistance movement, beyond merely fighting the Vision Hunt decree. Of course! We have tried on numerous occasions. Unfortunately, each time a proposal, they invariably adopt. It almost makes one wonder whether they had a hand in the shogun's sudden decision.
Ooh, Paimon has a question though.
Oh? What would you like to know, Paimon?
Have you got a plan yet to fight the Vision Hunt decree?
Yes, main.
We do not.
जी भाई क्या फायदा फिर?
Please, do not forget that challenging the Vision Hunt decree is tantamount to challenging a deity. Coming to terms with that is already a difficult step to take.
So what?
Well, for the moment, all we can do is try and reduce the harm that is being caused by this decree. For example, by providing vision bearers with safe refuge, or manufacturing counterfeit visions for them as a contingency measure.
Oh, counterfeit vision बना सकते हैं?
Paimon, that there are people out there who can make fake visions?
वही ना?
Don't underestimate the talents of the craftspeople in Hanamizaka. To the naked eye,
Must have been
their counterfeits
where...
are indistinguishable from the genuine article. The problem we are facing right now is that Master Masakatsu, who was providing us with counterfeit visions, has recently been arrested by the Tenryou Commission.
अच्छा अभी बोलेंगे उसको छुड़ा के लाए.
Yes. We knew it was not a... Exactly. I feel the same way. But given mine and Toma's identities...
वही ना, you are offloading the job to me भाई.
By no means do we intend to place the burden of such a task on your shoulders alone. When you are ready, go to Hanamizaka and look for a fireworks shop run by the Naganohara family.
जी भाई मतलब ये करो भाई वो करो शी अला कुत्ता ये एक तो कुत्ता बैठा है भाई मस्त क्या है भाई कुत्ते वाउ कैन यू अंडरस्टैंड मी? वूफ। ऐ मस्त है। ओह, चलो आज का स्ट्रीम इधर ही एंड करते फिर। 3 घंटा हो गया भाई, ये लोग भी बोर हो जाएंगे, इतना 3 घंटा तो कर लिया। मे बी मेरे को लगा एक्ट जल्दी खत्म हो जाएगा, ये एक्ट भाई बहुत धीरे धीरे जा रहा है। क्योंकि इसमें स्टोरी बहुत है। कल वाला एक्ट बहुत जल्दी खत्म हो गया था क्योंकि उसमें फाइटिंग वगैरह ज़्यादा थी, इसमें लाइक स्टोरी लोर बहुत है। अरे तो चलो आज का स्ट्रीम इधर ही एंड करते हैं। ओ कुत्ते भाई मस्त है इधर भाई, डॉग वगैरह। एग्जीक्यूटिव वाह चलते चलते किधर भी चेस में। तो चलो आज का स्ट्रीम इधर ही एंड करते हैं। आगे का क्वेस्ट और एक्ट 2 अगर देखते हैं दोनों कल वाली स्ट्रीम में करेंगे। तो आज अपन ने बहुत किया लिटरली। तो चलो तब तक के लिए बाय बाय। और यस मेन चीज 10 पुल इस पे कर सकते हैं और 16 पुल इस पे कर सकते हैं। तो लेट्स ट्राई 16 पुल करके देखते हैं क्या मिलता है अपने को। वेपन मिलेगा कुछ तो लग रहा है। हाँ लगा है, नसीब नहीं है अपना भाई। अभी चलो एक साथ 10 पुल करने वाले माविका के बैनर पे। कितना मतलब ऑलमोस्ट 20 दिन है। तो दूसरी स्टारी नाइट विस्पर्स ओके। एंशिएंट फ्लेम अब्लेस ब्ला ब्ला ब्ला। चिटाली कैसे प्रोनाउंस करते हैं इसका नाम? चिटाली। अपन तो माविका खोलने वाले भाई। ये बाइक वाली मिल गई ना भाई, इसको बिल्ड करेंगे मस्त। लेट्स गो। कुछ तो 4 स्टार है एक। ओ वो मिला, एक कैटलिस्ट, एक सॉर्ड, एक स्पीयर जो मेरा पहले से था। ओ डायोना।
I charge a hefty fee for private events.
भाई ये क्या है बिल्ली?
You didn't come here for a drink?
नेको भाई नेको। नाइस 4 स्टार क्रायो। क्रायो वाला मैं यूज भी नहीं करता इतना वैसे। जो है अच्छा है भाई, अपन डाउट नहीं करेंगे भाई। एक ही कैरेक्टर मिला यार। आई वाज होपिंग भाई कुछ और मिले बट ठीक है। मास्टरलेस स्टारडस्ट ठीक है, क्या ही कर सकते हैं ना। पीटी कैसे देखते हैं? तो हिस्ट्री से देखते हैं ना। 11 पे मतलब 1 पे 5 रहता है। 50 और 53 तो 53 हो गया फिर अपना पीटी। ठीक है होप भाई अच्छा मिले कुछ। हाँ ये वाली मिली ना अभी बिल्ली नेको। चलो फिर
Why not keep me company for a while? There'll be plenty of time for work.
सच प्रोफाइल्स में क्या मिला इसको? स्टोरी वॉइस ओवर्स और ये अपना कैरेक्टर एक है। क्या क्यूट है भाई अच्छी। चलो इसका पता नहीं मेरे को ये वेपन क्या यूज करती है। अच्छा वो यूज करती है। चलो देखते हैं अगर कुछ फ्यूचर में टीम कुछ क्वेस्ट आया क्या नीचे? अच्छा रिटो ट्रैवल परमिट। अच्छा चिसाटो लेटर। अच्छा वो स्टोरी क्वेस्ट था ना। क्लेम क्या है? कीज मिल गए अपन। ये कीज स्टोरी क्वेस्ट भी कर सकते हैं फिर। भाई बहुत कुछ है करने के लिए भाई, क्या करे और क्या नहीं बट चलो देखते हैं बाद में। चलो आज के लिए इतना ही रखते फिर। वो बंदे को भी छुड़ाना है फिर अगले स्ट्रीम में। तो के लिए चलो बाय बाय, सी यू गाइस टुमारो।